holding ourselves accountable as the voters, calling out the filth that maybe we have participated in, the filth that we have allowed to roam and to exist in the corridors of power of Nakuru County. As voters, are we accountable enough? Are we transparent enough? Are we honest enough to look to ourselves even as we attempt to hold the leadership that we put in place accountable? I'm calling upon the spirit of patriotism, that we can have a candid conversation without people or quotas saying that we are attacking them, or we are saying lies, or we are not supporting them. That we can find it within ourselves to realize that our county can never move forward if we are not honest with each other, if we cannot hold each other accountable, if we cannot talk about the evils and the good things that are happening in the county in the same equal measure. And if we can achieve that out of this forum, I think we'll have gone really far as a people and as a community of Nakuru County, and as a community that wishes to see this county move forward. So in the spirit of the Gen Z, let us have a lot of boldness and courage, and a lot of truth and a lot of sincerity in what we speak about today. And let us purpose to ensure that this county is working for us as much as we are working with our leaders. So those are our roles. I'm sorry to have spoken so much. I think I really have been looking for this day, and I can't wait to hear what people want to talk about. I will reserve my comments. I also have my submissions, and especially for me, and I'm very keen to peruse and have a discussion about the latest Auditor General's report on Nakuru County. And why this is because the figures that have been mentioned in that report, and we're talking about 1.5 B, and when I say B, I mean billions, that cannot be cannot be accounted for, that have been misappropriated, have been called out by the Auditor General, that we cannot understand where this money has gone. We cannot understand how it has been used. We cannot tell you, people of Nakuru County, how this 1.5 B has gone to, or what anchor projects it has been channeled to. And I hope we can have a candid conversation about that without a lot of feelings around it, because at the end of the day, we are relying on data, and we are relying on a report from a very notable institution of the government, and we should be able to have these discussions without fear, without intimidation, and without the notion that speaking about this would be perceived otherwise by other quarters. So, but please feel free to talk about whatever issues you'd want to talk about. But I hope we can also center our conversation around that, because I feel it's very important for us to ask these pertinent questions. I don't know, Dennis, if you have anything to say, or we can move along to pass the mic to the first speakers.
All right. As I say a few remarks, you could probably start looking at the next speakers and those who have requested. I did not inform members where I come from. I come from Nakuru Town East constituency, and I'm a voter in Menengai ward. I'm aware that we have members who are also not from Nakuru County, but are just members of the public who are interested in this conversation. Welcome. Welcome to our space. Just a quick run through on our county, Nakuru County. Of course, everyone knows is located in the Rift Valley in Kenya. It was the former headquarters of the provincial headquarters of former Rift Valley province. Nakuru County has 11 sub-counties, and Nakuru County has a population of 2.16 million people, out of who 1,050,000 are registered voters. So the registered voters are spread through the 11 sub-counties, or you want to call them constituencies, which are represented by your members of parliament. We have Molo with 77,000 voters, Njoro constituency with 113,000 voters, Naivasha constituency has 157,000 voters, Gilgil constituency, where Zuena comes from, and other members I'm seeing here, has 95,000 voters. Kuresoi South constituency has 66,000 voters. Kuresai North has 70,000 voters. Subukia has 55,000 voters. Rongai has 84,000 voters. Bahati has 97,000 voters. Nakuru Town West has 112,000 voters. And Nakuru Town East has 125,000 voters. This is according to the IEBC data of 2022. Nakuru County has also 55 wards. Wards are represented by your area member of county assemblies. I hope that is a good introduction, and I think now we can open the floor to the members of Nakuru County to air their views. Today, this is not a question and answer session. Today, we just want to hear from the people of Nakuru. We want to listen to what they have to say. We want to note down the issues that they have, because we believe this is just the beginning of our spaces as a forum to interact directly with our leaders. So today we are open to just listen to you. Come here, tell us what you think about Nakuru, tell us what you feel should be done, tell us what you think has happened that you like or you don't like, so that now as we move forward, now we can be agreeing on specific topics and even invite people who will be able to answer to the questions that members will raise moving forward. Asanteni sana, karibuni, and once again, keep inviting people. Make sure the hashtag Voices of Nakuru is trending. Karibuni sana watu wa Nakuru. Welcome to our space. State of Affairs, Nakuru County, County of Endless Possibilities. Nakuru County has had three governors. 2013, 2017, we had our first governor, His Excellency Kennedy Mbugua. 2017, 2022, we had His Excellency Lee Kinyanjui. And now we have Her Excellency Susan Kihika as our current governor and leader of Nakuru County. As you are given an opportunity to speak, kindly remember to introduce yourself, where you come from, and including your ward, because we want to use this data to be able to map out and be able to improve our next space for Nakuru County. Asanteni sana. Zuena, back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Dennis. I can see we have some requests, so let's start with Daniel Merori. I'm approving you, Daniel. You can start. And then if you allow me, I'd want to invite somebody that have walked the journey with us in terms of understanding the Constitution of Kenya in Nakuru County. This is a legend. I think most of us who have started advocacy issues in Nakuru County or the advocacy journey have passed through his hands, Mr. Joseph. So after Daniel, allow me to invite Mr. Joseph Omondi so that he can take us through how and the journey that he has been undertaking, what he has seen in Nakuru County, and how he can better empower us with information on how to navigate such conversations and move this conversation from having conversations to actual actions on the ground. So, Daniel, you can speak. Daniel, just unmute yourself. You can be able to speak.
Daniel, the floor is yours. As he's trying to connect back to the space, I think we can listen to Mr. Omondi.
Invite him. can do Mr. Abdullahi. Abdullahi, are you able to access your mic? Abdullahi, just try unmuting your mic. Yes, okay.
Okay, hello, good evening.
Good
evening. My name is Abdullahi Adam. Ni mkaji wa Shabab Nakuru Town West. Na nashukuru sana kwa sababu ya kuwa na space. As much as today is just a trial, naona watu wamekuwa wengi, which I'm very happy about it. And the matter is about Nakuru County, but samani kidogo ile tear gas nilikula Tuesday na kusumbuliwa na askari kwa wingi. Sasa nita mix Kiswahili na Kiingereza na Shen pia. Hapa kuna majenzi sisi wote. So nilikuwa nataka kusema tu kwamba this is a good move. At least we should be having this regularly because it matters good governance and checking balance, because sasa sisi ndio tutakuwa tunajaribu kuangalia what's happening around Nakuru County, but as matters Nakuru County matters to do with county constituency mpaka ward level. Mimi sina mengi ya kusema kwa leo because naona tuko tu sisi kwa sisi. I was expecting some leaders from the county government because as much as umesema mambo ya auditor general, sisi wote tutauliza maswali, but who's going to answer us, because we're expecting some of them to be, as much as maybe the governor might not be in, at least the CEOs or the CCs, but naona ni kama tu tuko sisi wenyewe. So mimi sina mengi, nilikuwa na maswali zangu, sijui kama nitakubaliwa ndaziuliza. I hope I'll get the answers. Let me ask one or two questions yenye niko nayo hapa. First and foremost, nimeona leo Senator amesema kwamba Nyandarua Court imerudisha War Memorial. After some few minutes, governor anakuja akasema kwamba ile court imefanya draconian rule, ikapeana back the land to the owners. Now they're heading to Court of Appeal. I think the fight is still on, so tungepata majibu ya hiyo maybe. That's number one. Number two is about the CEOs who are in office. Because kulingana na sheria vile nasema, the CEOs, one minute, nilikuwa nimeandika mahali, let me check, just 1 minute. I think yote mnaweza nijibu nyinyi wenyewe, maybe kama hata hakuna viongozi tatu. According to me, all the CEOs are illegal in the office. They were never sworn in.
Abdullahi?
We can't hear you.
Joseph, are you able to pick this up so that as Abdullahi fixes his mic?
Yes, I can pick it up. Am I audible enough?
Proceed.
Yes, you are.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the organizers of this important forum here. I'm called Joseph Omondi, Coordinator Human Rights Network. I come from a ward called Biashara Ward in Nakuru Town East. And I'm a student of history and good governance. So, I'll start by saying that we are here because the elected leaders and our representatives have refused to implement our constitution. Matters to do with accountability has become alien, and the people who are more transparent are not likable in their circles. So I have to tell you that Article 1 that is normally quoted in the Constitution was canvassed for 3 months. Way back in Bomas, when Professor Yashpalgai was trying to get views from the people before this particular constitutional making process became something that we were to address after the post-election violence in 2007. And the framers of the constitution were very, very clear that the old constitution was bestowing power to the state, and by state it meant that the power was with the president. So when you see that the current constitution, the sovereign or the power belongs to the people, it was a deliberate way of removing power from the people we elect, because when we elect people, we are delegating a part of that power. We are not delegating everything. It's just delegation. So when we are delegating that power, it means that we remain with the power. We remain with the ultimate choice to withdraw that power if that particular elected leader has not done what we need to do. And when you saw the agencies going to parliament, they had given up the delegated power that they had given to the members of parliament, because the members of parliament were working at the behest of the president, who is also working through delegation. So here is a situation whereby when we look at Article 1 of the Constitution, when we look at Article 3 of the Constitution, where we say that everybody is mandated to defend and protect this Constitution. When you look at Article 10, that talks about what are our national values and principles of governance. It's about issues of accountability, transparency, issues about diversity, it's about equity. Article, if we just implement those 3 articles of the Constitution, we shall be good. Because the rest, it's about we the people giving the judiciary the power, and the power when those particular institutions are working for our interest, not against our interest. So to me, when I look at the current issues, and maybe some of you have been alive enough to look at what I did during the first county government, I was the most disliked person in that particular arrangement, because the person I was working to, who was my boss then, apparently was a little bit softer, but I told him that I didn't come here to work for you to earn a living. We want to leave a mark here. We must make sure that devolution works, because the devolution was fought by people. People died. Christine Mbai died when he was presiding over the bombers issues because of devolution. Because people didn't want power to be decentralized. People didn't want the resources to be decentralized. People wanted to maintain resources at the center. So we don't want people to joke with the devolution. We don't want people to joke with the devolution. One of the things that we need to look into is, are our county assemblies working? Because that's the first line of accountability. That's the first line of issues to do with the oversight. Are we electing people who are not capable of oversighting the executive to the county level? It's a serious issue that we need to discuss in this forum. Because one of the things here is, in these county assemblies here, we have the Public Accounts Committee that is mandated to make sure that all expenditures of the county are audited, and we get reports as a feedback, because we delegated those people to go to the assembly, and also they should create platform to feedback to us what is happening. In the counties here, we make budgets. After making budgets, those budgets, the public participation forums are just ticking boxes because it's just PR. The things that we suggest do not go to the budget. When the budget is made 2 or 3 months later, they come up with the supplementary budget. In that supplementary budget, there's no public participation. They do away with everything that you guys had suggested again in those public participation forums, then they have a new budget. So that by the time you are doing the public expenditure analysis, you wonder, am I addressing the budget that we made together, and or is this a new budget? So we need to find a way of, are our county assemblies working? Are they giving us the feedback? The Public Accounts Committee reports, Who consumes those reports? It's we, the people, who will consume those reports. We don't want to be receiving the reports from the Auditor General when the horse has already left the stable. It's the county assembly to flag out these expenditures. Are they calling the reports? The reports that the executive sent to the assembly. How are we able maybe to analyze those reports and say, according to our public expenditure analysis, there's something going wrong here? Right now, as we speak today, I've seen something strange to a place called the Lion's Garden. There are some, I don't know if it's kiosks. Somebody is building there something. Was there public participation about it? That Lion's Garden is a garden that we have really guarded for a very long time. Hiyo uwanja iko karibu hapo na Pinnacle. Something is happening there. As we speak today, there was no public participation forum for that thing to happen. But as we ventilate, as we agonize, I don't want to start writing another lamentation book because already the lamentation book is in the Bible. We need to get solutions. That is one. For us to make sure that our counties are accountable, we need now to be organized. Let us leave agonizing now. Let us now be organized. How do we get organized? One, we need very, very active ward conventions. Very, very active ward conventions. We need very, very active constituency conventions with conveners. We need the county conventions. What are we going to do in these conventions? These are conventions for knowledge and experience sharing and consolidating our agendas. If people can be organized along these lines, where we have ward conventions, constituency conventions, county conventions, with the conveners agree, when should we be meeting? Is it monthly or is it quarterly? What will be the agenda? We have an expert on issues to do with the budget making processes. We have an expert on issues to do with audit. We have an expert on issues to do with the governance. If these spaces are created, I, Joseph Omondi, promise to bring those consultants at my own cost, so that we have a conversation here. Because if, for example, we are dealing with people who are experts in impunity and experts in matters inertia in terms of development, and if that is what now is what is prevailing, we must make sure that we are also tooled enough to deal with them. So we need accountability tools. What are these? Some of these accountability tools. How many of us are very much conversed with the Constitution? How many of us are quite
We seem to have lost you, Mr. Omondi.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. So what I'm saying here is that we need to be very much organized in such a way that now we need tools for trade. And our trade here is accountability. And these tools, of course, the first tool is the Constitution. The second tool is the County Government Act 2011, Access to Information Act 2016, where, for example, you can seek information from the county government, write a petition, 14 days. If they don't give you the information you want from the county, you can go to court, and the court can compel the county to give you information. But there is a way you have to format your petition. So these are things that we can capacity build people during those conventions. We need to have our own, creating what we call the social audit teams, where we can social audit a project and give a report and say, contrary to what was in the BQ, contrary to what was in the schedule of materials, this is what we expected the contractor to do, but what we are seeing here is not what we expected the contractor to come up with. Of course, when you started the conversation, talking about the control of audit reports. It's also the reports from the control of budget. Because these two institutions are quite important in looking at their reports. We should be consuming their reports. But ideally,
1 minute left for you, Joseph. 1 minute. Wind up. 1 minute.
Thank you, sir. So what we are saying here is that we need to make sure that the budget tracking tools, we have them. The Public Finance Management Act is very, very clear of how our money should be used. Finally, has I finished? How many of us have even now read the draft finance bill of the county? So that's where we are. As we are now looking at the finance bill that was rejected at the national level, hii yetu inasema nini? So let us be organized. Let us organize conventions. Let us capacity our people. Let us start the journey of accountability. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Thank you for your insights on tools of accountability. Asante sana, umetufungua macho. Wow, social accountability. Fantastic. A quick recap on our house rules as we continue. Zuena, as I say this, please be preparing the next speakers. We have over 15 requests I can see. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, residents of Nakuru County, that we are hosting this space, but as we do, we want to create an environment where individuals feel comfortable to express their opinions without fear of being judged or hostility. So I want to encourage openness, but at the same time, let us be empathetic to people's feelings because of the words and actions that we may use. And let us be understanding, because I know that so many people are mad about so many things right now in this country. Kwa hivyo, let us remember that at the end of the day, we are all residents of Nakuru County. Let us use language that is respectful, and most importantly, we are here to discuss issues and not people. Asante sana. Zuena, back to you.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for that. And thank you, Mr. Omondi, for taking us through and opening our minds and challenging us to do better, to ensure that we interact with institutions and to participate in forums that are very crucial in community engagement in regard to ensuring that we are also walking the journey with the government and we are not just reacting after a period of time has elapsed and a lot of things have happened. Allow me to invite Mr. Stephen Gitukia to give his submissions. Karibu, Steve.
Zuena.
Yes, Abdi. Oh, you're back?
Yeah, peana tu mic. Mimi nitaongea baadaye, sina haraka. Let's speak the mic.
Thank you. Steve, take it away.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Oh, good evening, guys. Oh, Zuena and Dennis, thank you very much even for this initiative, even of hosting with the Nakurians, and particularly in a bigger picture, the county and the country at large. My name is Steve Gitukia, a resident of Nakuru Town West, a voter in Shabab, and I think I'll just borrow some bit of what my friend Joseph Omondi has said about the draft finance bill of the county. We know why there were demonstrations all over because of the national finance bill, but equally as of the county, probably some of us here have not read it, have not even had access to it. And I think it's important that it's available to the residents of Nakuru, so that we can have our take. We see whether we can borrow a leaf from the national government and the reaction from the people. We can equally react on the same length. Besides that, one thing, I'm a person living with disability. I'm not a Gen Z actually. I'm pretty old, but I want to just touch a bit about what happens and what does not happen in this county that we love so much, Nakuru. We've had three county governments. Kenodia Mbogwas, and Honorable Kinyanjui, and currently Her Excellency Madam Governor Susan Kihika. I just want to touch on something that probably has escaped a lot of us, and my area of concern now is the people living with disability. Back in 2020-2021, we had a 27.5 million disability fund approved for people living with disability in this county. Of concern is that I highly doubt some of those people in my cadre are able even to access these funds. And questions about this have been asked. Sadly enough, we have never had answers given by the persons concerned. What happens, therefore, is that most of my friends in that cadre are left in abeyance. They don't know who to ask. They don't know where to go to get their answers. But I want to touch on something that actually happened back in, I'm not sure, but it was back during Kenodia's time. There was massive disbursement of assistive devices, mobility, and economic empowerment back then. Since that time, we have had instances of where people living with disability, actually physical disability, have had to fundraise to get the basics like a wheelchair or even walking sticks. There is a directorate under this county that's supposed to man that. We have challenges as people living with disabilities, and particularly physical disabilities, where now the director or the CEO in charge of this is housed in the, if you remember, the former provincial headquarters up in the 3rd or 2nd floor that some of us cannot even access to because you have to use, there are no lifts, you have to use stairs. So it's so challenging. Probably the county ought to look at this, and in any case they find a floor that is friendly to people living with disability, so that some of our questions can be answered due to ease of access, which is so much lacking. Apart from that, when we look at the inclusivity and the recognition of people living with disability in this county on matters employment and empowerment, that is one area that has been given a wild berth in all departments of this county. I was, for the last 5 years, I was a protocol officer in the office of the speaker. And I asked questions. Is it that PLWDs are not qualified enough? They don't have the proper qualifications to make them access employment in the county? Because I look at the county assembly, apart from me, and I was there on temporal basis, you look at the staffing, none. It actually occurred to me that despite the fact that we feel that there is the rules, there is the phony aspect, that we are friendly to you guys, there is no consideration whatsoever. We have, disability is not inability. Personally, I have taken that one as my driving force. I don't self-pity. I work, and I would want to imagine that those younger, the youthful sons and daughters of ours have the qualification, the capability to gain employment. But do they consider that? No, because even for those who are able, our youth who are able and qualified, accessing and even getting the chance to be employed in the county, I mean, it's just a big no. Why? Probably our parents or the parents of these kids are poor. And you know, the Public Service Board of this county, there are questions about it. Why? You have to know who is who. in order to even get secondment or even being shortlisted while you are qualified enough. You have to have probably a brown envelope in quotes to buy these chances. How many of our mamas in Kaptembwa, in Lakeview Ward, Naivasha, in Kuresoi, in Joro can afford, let's say, what we hear, 300,000, 100,000 to secure a son a job, to secure a daughter a job? Very few can do this. Whereas I commend
1 minute, Steve. 1 minute left.
Yes, okay, fine. Thank you very much. Probably it's because I'm dwelling so much on disability and it's equally even preaching you, Dennis, and you don't want it to wish to wash it away. But I would beg just you add me some seconds. I would want
Don't worry. I will add you more minutes later.
Okay, fine.
And we thank you for your views.
I'm passionate about that aspect of disability, and I just want to say this, that probably in the next engagement, we might be able to highlight the issues we feel that need to be considered. Most of the structures and buildings in this county are not disability friendly. Accessibility becomes a challenge. And I think that one, the directorate under which this falls should look into these matters. Dennis, as I wind up, I just want one thing to say. I would want to say that the former regime of Governor Lee Kinyanjui had their flagship projects. I want to commend the current governor for not abandoning those projects and taking it upon herself and her administration to continue. Probably people might look at it differently, that she'll have no mark, but I think that's enough mark that the continuity is what we wanted. Probably Dennis, like you say, you might give me more time. I might just explain further of what I thought need to be done as per our county. And in extension, even the constituencies, we have bursaries, we have all these things that are available to the people with disability. But I think the way it's done is so skewed. But unless you know so and so, in terms of the 30% constitution allowed tender, I am sure that the people with disability don't access it as much as the youth don't. Why? Because they don't know how to go about it, and no one enforces this. You go to the county assembly, and I think I go back there. The MCAs, the current MCAs, we ought to have a representation as to who is nominated to represent disability. But we saw it last time. The person who is said to represent disability and people with disability is a phony. I mean, disability also needs some realistic, tangible issues that you can touch and feel and see. We don't see that in the person who is supposed to represent us. I think I'll stop there and await my next talk.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you for being brief. Thank you for keeping within the time frame. Asante sana for your remarks. Mobility and economic devices for people with disabilities. And of course, thanking the current governor for continuing with the projects that were initiated by the previous government. I think that is commendable. I would like to invite Zuena to proceed with the next speakers. But as we do, let us be quick and reduce the 5 minutes to 3 minutes, because we want as many people as possible to speak, to say something today, because I know you've been waiting for this, and this is your chance. So don't worry, people on the queue, msijali, mtasikizwa, tutawapea time. Wasira kuna story mingi ya kusema, issues ni mob, and that's why we are here. So far so good. Remember to invite people, tell them to make our hashtag Voices of Nakuru trend, and then let's keep the conversation going. Back to you, Zuena.
Thank you, Dennis. Maybe you can also help me in accepting the requests. I seem to have a small technical issue from my end. And we can have the next set of speakers. I can see we have about 10 requests for speaking. I want to support Dennis's idea that we reduce from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, just to be able to give people a chance to make their submissions on the same. Just a reminder of our set of rules. Let's be bold in our submissions. Let's be truthful. Let's be accommodative of each other's views. And remember, when you're given the mic to speak, do tell us where you're from, your constituency, and your ward. We'll really appreciate. Dennis, are you able to?
Yes, I can see I have Engineer Victor Ngatia in the queue together with Willie Oreba, and there's a lady I'm trying to approve.
Yes.
Yes, we haven't had any other lady speaker.
Yes.
And I think it's important that we try to balance this. Victor, do you have the speaker? Do you have the mic with you?
Let me see.
Ngatia?
Not yet. I don't think he has a speaker yet. Are you able to approve him from your end?
Yes,
Dennis?
I have already.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just do this.
He can unmute him.
Bear with us. This is our first space, so baby steps are allowed. Bear with us, members of Nakuru. Karibuni sana to our first Twitter space. Karibuni sana. Victor, please unmute your speaker and proceed.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Good evening, everybody, and good evening, Nakuru County. My name is Ngatia. Shabab Ward is where I'm born and brought up. I'm a businessman, so my business is in 3 counties. We have Nakuru, Nairobi, and Mombasa. I'm in logistics, I move cargo. But this being home, this is where my interest is, and I love the fact that we have this space today. It's been a push here and there to ensure that everybody is available today to be here. But let me also thank the host, Abby and Dennis. I mean, everybody else is doing this, come a long way, and we are right on time. Mine, I would want not to quickly start beating, in as much as I am more than encouraged to be bold enough to bring out what is in my head. But number one, I think it's only wise that we encourage people to join X or to join Twitter. And the reason is, if you look at the dynamics that we have in Nakuru County, the people of Rongai try to solve their problems independently, which happens to the same to the people in Nakuru West or Nakuru East, where the Bahati. And when we seem not really understand what's happening in either of the sub-counties apart from yours. So this would actually encourage us to have representation from each and every sub-county, so that whatever issues that are across, then we can understand. When we say a governor is not performing or a governor is performing, I think we want that resonance to come from Kuresoi all the way to Naivasha, so that we don't say that Naivasha is saying there's a lot of performance simply because they have a good hospital that has been built, while everybody else has no hospital and therefore nothing is happening, So I'm really encouraged that we have this platform going forward, and I believe Nakuru people would join in shows so that we have good numbers, and when we discuss, let's be discussing in the numbers of 9,000 people listening at every given time, or 10 or 15,000. If you look at the numbers given by Dennis when we started, we have about 1 million voters. So we need to actually have a space with such numbers so that we are sure that we are reaching as many people as possible. My concern directly goes to the executive. Number one, I think there is a lot of information. What do you call it? We don't get access to information is really limited in Nakuru County. And it didn't start now. I think it started way back when we had Kinothi Mbugua, even when we had Governor Lee. I mean, we realized that a lot of information will not come out, and even currently, when you want information, just like what Joseph Omondi was taking us through, you realize access to information is still a challenge for us, so that we fail to react on time, and therefore we react after the mess. So I think we need to come out, and I thank you very much. I want to thank Joseph so much, because when you actually bring that out, we realize, so it is our right to have this information. In as much as it is in the Constitution, rarely do we find ourselves pushing and putting it in writing so that we get what we want. And since this information does not come through, you realize a lot of monkey business goes on. And by the time we're learning of whatever happened, we've lost millions. Zuena, you touched about, I think we are talking about $1 billion shillings, that from the Auditor General, there is $1 billion shillings that is somewhere but that we don't know. And this takes time to find out, you know? I mean, last year we had that, we had under-collected from where Governor Leaf left us, and we went down by $1 billion shillings. And there was a lot of, you know, stories from the usual defenders that any governor would have, trying to tell us that, you know, this is not correct, it's something different. I think the true story will come back or come out in November, so we have to wait for information to come later. While in actual sense it's true, there was an under-collection, you know? So what are we supposed to do when and at what time? You know, that I've seen, there's a lot of leaders, you know, riding on that while they're just stealing money from us. The other thing maybe I would want to talk about is the transparency in ensuring that business or contracts are issued properly. It's open secret that we know every governor who comes into office or every other MP or MCA who's in place, they will always have their people, you know, and if not their people, it is their companies that are doing these businesses. I'm lost because we seem to now have leaders who are not necessarily doing their jobs in office, without naming them at the moment. I do not want to start having a case now, but we know that there are people who are doing business, and the people and the companies that are doing these contracts are directly owned by these MPs and these MCAs. Just the other day, there was something happening in Shabab, and I like what I saw, the agitation with Abdullahi and the team Steve took here. There was a lot of hulabaloo in Shabab page, Bonanza, and they were asking about a particular road that seems to have been complete, but is not yet complete, and the payment has been done. You know, this is a kind of accountability we want to find out. How do you explain that if I'm a contractor, I have stages of, or I'm paid in phases? How do we explain when we find a contract issued and the job done halfway and it's fully paid? You know, already that tells you there's a red flag. Something is happening. So who owns this company? If you check very well, you will find one of these leaders own the company. You know, so for me, I'm really excited that we can now start holding our leaders accountable. I'm liking what the Gen Z is telling us. The Gen Z is telling us that, you know what, these people have been stealing from you. These people have been using your money to do other businesses. When you have problems taking your kids to school, when you have problems getting water, you have problems getting your health care. I mean, all these things, the money is there. But these people take it. How do you explain somebody starts to drive big expensive cars like we've seen when we know how much they're earning as a salary? You know, but since this information does not come through, and in the event you start to question, I will not call them goons, but we have people in our platforms, in our usual WhatsApp pages, that will be there to ensure they, you know, they bring you down. They will abuse you. They will give, in fact, is it Rongai? We just saw the other day, somebody was beaten to a point of their legs being broken simply because they wanted to hold the MP to account. I mean, this is a kind of scenario that we are seeing, and now people get scared of getting victimized. Until people understand what their rights are, then we have a problem with these people. Me, initially I came and I was very happy when MPs and MCAs or whatever leaders were going to be, you know, greeted. And I thought that was pushing them to being accountable. Because when a leader decides that they will say, they'll vote no to something that we've actually said, go and vote no, then they go and change their mind. We didn't tell them to change their mind. So they must account and explain why did they vote yes when we said vote no. To make the matter worse, like in our area, our MP had even gone out and said on record, he's on record, that he will not vote for it. And he excited. Personally, I wrote to him and I said, I like your stand, and that proves that you're a good leader. And please ensure you vote no. Then what do we see after we go to Parliament? 2 million talked better than our voices in Nakuru West. So when I say people to be greeted, I mean, it's not that we are saying, and then mkachome manyumba zao, and then mkawapige. No. They have their numbers. Let them know exactly what you said, and they are actually out of order. This platform, let not everybody think that it is not going to do anything like that. We are going to greet them. We are going to tell them, you have taken our money. You said you will use 25 million to do 1, 2, 3. You say there's a kitty for bursaries that is 1, 2, 3. How much have you given? Who have you given? What schools have received this money? Can we confirm that? You know, this information is available upon demand within 14 days. Thank you, Benamondi. So that these people realize this money is not their salary. This is taxes. These are our taxes. Money meant to make our lives better in our respective constituencies or wards. You know, so I want to encourage everybody to speak up. Do not fear anything, because at the end of the day, if your ground, if there are issues in your ground and you don't speak out, it will be very difficult for you actually to be sorted. These people know, like what Steve is talking about. They have issues to do with the whole world accessories. So how do we sort it if Steve does not speak out? So Steve, believe you me, somebody in the governor's office has picked it. Somebody in the county assembly has picked it. They will be very stupid if you speak about it, we capture it, and they don't act. In fact, you'll be amazed if somebody called you tomorrow or the day after to try and ensure that whatever you said or talked about today is sorted, because they know we're coming for them. If there is an allocation every year in tunes of millions that is supposed to go to PWDs, who has that kitty? So if we had an account, we had money in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, I have more because I have detailed cases I would want to bring forth. But as I said, I have 3 minutes. I will allow everybody else to speak. But those cases are coming up. They should not be cheated that we are not going to bring them out. We shall come for them, and they shall see jokes. Feel encouraged. I'm happy about this. Let's keep on doing this. Asante.
Stand on business. Thank you for reminding the people of Nakuru that they have every right to demand for what is justifully theirs. Let me remind the members once again, karibuni sana, welcome to our Nakuru State of Affairs space. I can see the numbers are growing. This is wonderful. Thank you to all of you. Keep inviting your friends, keep making the hashtag Voices of Nakuru trend. Just a polite reminder that as we have started today to host this is just the beginning. We will be doing this maybe just want to listen to members. We want people to introduce themselves. We want to test how this works. But most importantly, as the people of Nakuru, we want to foster an environment where we communicate respectfully so that it becomes a normal thing for us in our Twitter space, where individuals are more likely to engage meaningfully, contribute constructively, want to invite Prince, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. So, yeah, my name is Patrick Kinywa Prince. I'm a resident of this great county of Nakuru, county number 32. I am a voter in Nakuru Town West, Ronda wards, and my polling. So this is good. First of all,
about the state of affairs basically in our county, a county that we love, a county that we call on Nakuru TV on our YouTube page. Energies into the counties, because in as much as we have been focusing really on the national government, I think it's also important to also reflect and look at what is happening in the counties. There is so much, and I really want to appreciate Mr. Omondi who spoke before me, who actually raised some very fundamental issues on it. Effect in our country, we did not devolve, even the media was not devolved for Kennedy and Bogwa. It was about people learning the ropes in terms of how to even put the county into check and also how to report on devolution. And so with the second county government, and I think at that point then even the to put the government into checks and things like those. So from an observer's point of view, I feel like it is time now we redirected our energies. Yeah. Even the leadership now, listening to the voices of the Gen Zs. I remember people were asking, what next? What next now after we've demanded what it is the Gen Zs are demanding? And people were asking, Abdi Aden on Twitter each and every day. They've been demanding collectively, all of us, we should now focus report. Those are also documents that are publicly available, but somehow we do not get access to them, but they are available. There are also documents like the budget, because every county does their own budgets every year. These are also documents that we could interrogate and also come into terms with what is really happening so that we have a voice. In Nakuru County, most of the time we've executive, there's also others that are done by the County Assembly of Nakuru. You will find that most of the people who attend those public participation forums are people who have been compromised, or rather they've been induced to go in. They say we are okay with whatever it is that people have decided. We've seen, especially in the previous regime, where some certain MCAs, because they have an interest in what they want to push, push, they would even go ahead and bring about goons. Yeah. And so sometimes the people who attend those public participation forums, they the issues on the ground. Participation as a role of the county government, where each and every document that the county generates, each and every document that needs public participation, it is actually the responsibility of the government to avail that and to avail it in good time so that people can have a conversation around it. But the role rests on the people. It is the people that need to go to these forums, which are done, I think, across all wards, all 55 wards in the county. And now I think my challenge is to each and every person on this space. From this moment on, governance is about us. We've actually now noticed that some of these things, when we don't take part, when we choose to ignore, that is where the problem is. And I think just learning from what has happened in this country, I think my way forward would be, let us now start engaging with the county. Let us now start demanding for all these documents that we need. Let us dedicate time and learn. And where we some of these things are also very technical. Not everyone can understand. We have civil society organizations that work in Nakuru. We have professional organization like the media, who where we have representation from representation from either the media, the civil society, the law society, all these other professional groups that operate in Nakuru. So that when we are dealing with an issue, we are dealing with an issue with input from all these specific players who really understand, who can then explain it to us in a way that I'm very proud that in the very first what did the government do? They went ahead, they got their own bloggers, yeah. So now those bloggers, instead of even now articulating the actual position, their work is to, for lack of a better word, what is it called? I don't want to use a nasty word, but it's basically, basically gagging without information. But in the event you raise issues in some of the platforms, you realize that people come and attack. Yeah. So the people who are actually can now talk about specific issues very same way Article 1 of the Dennis, thank you, Abby, for having this. Let's make it a weekly thing. Today is just about what we need to talk about the reduced collection. Following year, we have a reduced annual collection. Not correct, then we have a platform where we can even allow them to come and clarify some of these issues. So thank you so much. That will be my 3 minutes. Thank you so much to Dennis and Abby again for doing this, and let's keep at it. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you.
And asante for keeping time. Yes, Abby, proceed.
I just wanted to say something before we give the next speaker. I keep getting empowered when I listen to the speakers. I wanted to support Mr. Ngatia's submission because I have had to really peruse the Auditor General's report for Nakuru County for the year 2022-2023, and where he's speaking on take procurement processes, because this ideally would really help us to understand how this tendering process go on, how procurement is serviced in the county. And the Auditor General was keen to note that not even approximately, exactly 868,592,308 Kenya shillings worth of procurement was not done through the e-procurement, and it cannot be accounted for. So that's quite a huge amount of money. And I'm not saying this to bash the current county government, about, because I feel that would ideally so to our health, and it is important I bring this to the members' attention, is that Nakuru County residents, by themselves visiting the hospital, the facilities that we have in Nakuru County, but the sad status is that these money should be collected first before they are distributed accordingly, either to the health facilities or to other departments that would need this revenue. And so we may not be able to even trace how this 1.5 and where specifically this money went to, other than what is provided for. And then from there, accounts of where these monies went, but they were given an explanation that the monies went to other departments and they went towards the hospitals. And how has it been used, or how has it been channeled that effect in terms of better service in our hospitals? Because it seems to be one area that a lot of revenue has been collected, but yet we cannot trace how these monies have been used. We cannot trace how procurement has been done. There has been a lot of procurement for medical supplies and medicine, but not through KEMSA as mandated by the law, but through private suppliers that have also not followed the due processes of procurement. So, and what I have realized today as I was going through this document is we do not have a revenue issue in Nakuru County. Clearly the money is there, but we do have an issue with how it is being used and how it is being utilized, and it is not being felt in terms of service delivery. And I say this from a personal level because I have parents in Nakuru County, and when War Memorial was operational, and we have to be honest with ourselves and remember, if there's one ticking time bomb that erupted the demonstrations in this country was the finance bill, which again allow me to remind you that the face of the finance bill is a member of parliament from Nakuru County. We will always carry that in the history book, that there existed a member of parliament from Molo constituency, Honorable Kura Kimani, and I have a lot of respect for him, who became the face of this punitive bill and carried out a public participation, refused to listen to the views of Kenyans, and because of that, the demonstrations began. And because of that, we have lost young men and women in the fight. That Nakuru participated in that through our member of parliament. We will always carry that with ourselves. And that is something that we should really reflect upon. But for Nakuru County as well, and for the current county government, the ticking time bomb is the War Memorial Hospital issue. And I say this because many of us have visited that hospital. I have personally been treated there. When my father was very sick at a point, I was so happy he was there, and that hospital brought him back to health. But right now, I have a worrying feeling that if anything was to happen to anybody I care about, I have to organize how they will arrive in Nairobi to access quality health services. And that should be something that worries all of us, because anything can happen to us. And it is very paramount that we have a health system within Nakuru County that works. Dennis, I think I'm done. I had not given my submissions earlier, so I'll just keep putting them across as we go by.
Thank you very much, Zwena. And I think that is how we're just going to conduct this X-Space. The more we engage each other, the more these issues come up. Thank you for reminding us about the issue of the finance bill and how it all started. But let me say something about it. Mheshimiwa Kuya Kimani, our son from Molo, is the chairman of the finance committee. So he cannot carry this blame all by himself, because other members of parliament have a responsibility of making a choice of whether siding with Kenyans or with the punitive bill. So, and remember, I should remind you at this point that Nakuru County has 11 constituencies. Out of 11 members of parliament, 10 voted yes. 1 absconded. So let us not blame just KK and Mheshimiwa for this. Everyone is going to carry this burden when the time is right. Let's move on. We have Antonino in the house. James, I think James and Willie Weber. These are our members from Nakuru County's creative industry. We'd like to hear from them. I don't know who has the mic on. Just unmute and proceed.
I would want Weber to start, then I conclude. I'm actually writing something here. Then for the same, kindly allow Weber first, then I'll pick it up immediately after him, kindly.
All right, Willie, do you have the mic on? I don't know why I can't see you, Willie. Willie, as Willie tries to check his mic, I think 2 issues have really come out as hot potatoes for Nakuru County, and one is the Auditor's General's report, and especially the issue on revenue collection, and the other one is the issue on health and how we handled the situation at the War Memorial. Willie, do you have the mic on? Who else has a mic?
Okay, so all right.
Okay.
I can just pick, don't worry. Okay, I can just keep pick, and then Weber will pick later. So thank you so much, Abby and Demo. My brother and my sister, big ups to Abby. Thank you for your mentorship in the political space, because that was a new face for me and allowing me how to approach government, both political and national government. And thank you everybody for coming here. I've had Omondi sharing quite extensively on the Constitution, our work, our job, and also my brother Steve Gatukia, who shared a lot of on disability. So I have a lot of things to say, but for the sake of time, because I need everybody to speak, then if there's anything that needs clarification in the creative industry or creative space, I'll be so much humbled to share more. But the creative, let me say, for the, when was it? Since 2016. So I just want to share the journey to where we are. Why creative industry? So in 2016, I was able to attend an INCTAD meeting that emphasized it was shifting the world from entrepreneurship to creative industry. The creative industry is the orange economy. That's what we call it, the orange economy. So out of this, it's an industry that employs people worldwide. These are the figures that that's why I was like trying to write that now I get facts on the table. When you look at the UN page on UN, UNESCO, all these pages, you'll find the creative industry employs more than 52 million people worldwide. In Africa, it has employed more than 22 million people, and actually 87.6% are young people. So when we come to Kenya, the contribution of the creative industry is 5.3 billion. But this one is scanty. It's scanty. I'm saying scanty because most of the creative sectors are absorbed in the trade department. An example is the fashion industry. Another example is the publishing, because publishing and book writing or publishers are more business oriented than in the creative spaces. So there are other uncaptured sectors that they should be accounted for in the creative space. So that journey has been a challenge. We found the first regime at the Ikitoka. So at the next meeting that we attended some of the creatives that we attended in Nakuru. We went to Nairobi, and it was we had 32 counties present. It was a huge meeting that we were deliberating now. How do we focus our energy to creative industry? Let me appreciate. Let me just. I know some of us. I'll be as honest as possible. So if I'll hurt you, forgive me, but that is the true honesty. Poleni sana, because the millennials and Jay-Z, we've decided that we'll just tell the truth. So that now we cannot heal a wound when the wound is covered. We just open and say this is the problem, and how do we solve it together? So now we had 11 resolutions, of which I'll congratulate the Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. Out of the 11, he actioned 7, like within 2 weeks. And make sure the 7 resolutions that we had are activated. Out of the 11, 4 of them were supposed to come down to counties. Because as we speak, culture is fully devolved. Fully devolved. Fully, and I mean it. Culture is fully devolved. Then if culture is fully devolved, we anchor it on Article 11 fully, because it says that the government shall, I'll not go to details because now of the time. So those are the things that we are saying. If the government shall, and this is the constitution, why are you not following? So for the longest time we've been told, oh, the creative industry needs to be together, wasanii mkutane mjipange, tukajipanga, 27, tukajipanga. So because that was the language that the government was taking advantage, kwa nini mjipangi, oh, we need you guys to structure together. So we came together in 2017. And because everybody was fighting for this one cake, but eating it from different angles. So we said, why don't you pull our resources together, our energies together, and focus on this cake that everybody will receive. Everybody will receive their chunk and they'll be okay. Of which it was so good. It was a good approach. So that's where the rain started beating us, because there's a challenge when you're coming together, we structured our ways. We also were doing trainings on ourselves, and allow me also to bring to also congratulate and also appreciate two organizations that I will respect, that have really supported us. That is SETGG and Midrift. That every time that we call them, they come and support us and do training. Sometimes they do it for free. Sometimes also they sponsor and say like we shall sponsor 1, 2, 3 for the benefit of the creative industry. So kudos to you guys. Continue doing that, Omondi. And I can see my brother Nani up. I can see one of my brothers here. So that has been the journey. So in 2019-2020, Kenya Bureau of Standards did a survey with potential towns and cities. So they did the four cities: Nakuru, not Nakuru, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and Nakuru, Eldoret. So they did like six counties. So out of the 6 counties, yes, and Machakos. Yes, and Machakos. I was shocked that the creative industry contribution to Nakuru is 2.72 billion. That is what we contribute in the kitty to the county government. So it brought now a conversation, because one of the languages of government, we have 4, but I'll just concentrate on one, is revenue. So if we are giving 2.72 billion, 2.72 billion, if this is what we contribute, then what are you injecting in the industry? So this is what we give as revenue, but what do we do inject it? So we started a conversation with Governor Lee, and he was, because this guy, because he has also a degree in literature. So, and then the wife, he's also a playwright and a book writer. So we're dealing with people who understand our industry very well. So out of that, there's a meeting that we sat and agreed. We had 13 issues. And out of 13, he was very smart. I thank God, because Eda is here, my chair is here, I can see Eda. So at least there are people who walked the journey, who are leaders in the creative industry, that understand this journey very well. So out of the 13, he only did one. And one of the issues was to appoint a CEC, because for the last 3 years, ilikuwa ni push and pull. There's Gababa Metolewa, then there was Kitienya who came held for some time. Then all of a sudden there was this guy alikuwa finance. Hata kwa najua ni kunaendelea, like he was just in finance and little bit in. So the Department of Youth, Culture, Gender and Social Service has been suffering for the last, if not 4 or 5 years. So that has been the game. Kikuja anaanza vingine, kikuja anafanya vitu zake. So one of the 13 was to have a CCY, because we are pushing for a creative policy, because a CEC is very key in issues to do with policy, because we never had one. So to call that acting, we never want someone to act. We just wanted, because acting is, I'll give responsibility to my department and then act on the other side. So that was the biggest challenge. So we had a meeting ile ofisi ya Milimani huko juu. So ilikuwa ni kind of like, okay, it was funny because our issues and what the department was giving, they were reporting. We never wanted to have we just want to have a conversation with our governor for him to understand what we are going through and what we need. So there was a proposal to have a digital training, which came, but was not that effective, because most of the creatives understand the digital space more than even the department. That is a fact, that is a truth. And we have guys, many people are in YouTube and are making money on YouTube and all that. So that is what happened. So by the grace of God, someone needs to check the microphone.
Okay, good evening all. Good evening all. Hello, good evening all. Hello, good evening. Ngare, just hold. Ngare, ngoja kidogo. Kuna issue na mic. I can hear you. I can hear you. Ngare, okay. Ya, nipe dakika moja na sort. Uko na issue na mic yako, najaribu kukusort. Kagani kwa sawa. Alafu sikia Ngare, uko kwa kelele mbaya. Ni kama uko pale kwa stage. Ona, hebu ingia mahali kuna nini kidogo. Nimetoka, siko kwa kelele. Sasa nakusikia. Hey. Okay. Ona, Anso. Sasa mimi siko kwa kelele. Haya, ongea. Ona, Antonino. Yes. Patia Ngare a few minutes. Alikuwa kwa nani sana, amekonekta mic. Thank you for consider. Asante sana. Haya, Ngare endelea. Good evening all. Good evening. Nimefurahi sana kuwa na hii kikao ya Nakuru State of Affairs Nakuru County, and it's a good gesture juu kila kitu lazima ikuwe inapangwa na mambo zote zikuwe zinaangaliwa, mambo zote za serikali. But one thing I would suggest, if you are talking about Nakuru County, let us not be biased. Let us be like the regions who are tribeless and they are leaderless. Because if you see, many of those people who are in our other pages calling for demonstrations, whatever, they have been employees of the previous governments of Nakuru County government, like Muvia Bogwa, like Riki Nyanjui. So they are former employees. You can see they are the one fighting the current government, which is almost 2 years old. Yes, it is good to question some things, but let us not use bitterness to cause anarchy here in Nakuru County. Kitu kingine naweza kusema, kama ni mambo ya uadilifu, naweza kuuliza kitu ya kwanza, wenye walikuwa wafanyikazi, I got some of them, kama Yutukia, he was an employee of the Nakuru County Assembly and the Speaker Cairo, former Assembly Speaker. Angetaka kuuliza maswali. Our host was an employee of Governor Kinovia Bogwa. Angetaka mambo ya questioning. The previous government, wakati uko tukijaribu kuuliza maswali, hakuandaa kusikiza chochote. Mbona saa hizi hata tujimaliza serikali nyingi kujimaliza miaka 2 ndio wako front line kuuliza maswali? Jambo lingine, kuna hii mambo ya report ya Auditor General yenye alikuwa amesema kulikuwa na nini ya 1.5 billion. If you remember very well, last year wakati Auditor General alikuwa amekuja hapa, Sports Club na mkutano na counties ya South Rift zote, alisimama vizuri na akasema hii report ya Nakuru County ilikuwa mistaken, ilikuwa imeandikwa vibaya, na aka apologize na pia kwa nini yao wapotea watu ukiingia, kuna hiyo nini yake ya kuomba msamaha juu kuna mahesabu hazikuwa zimefanya na ofisi yake kuhusu na mambo ya Nakuru County. So kuliko kukimbilia zaidi, ni vizuri pia, sikatai kukashifu serikali kwa maovu, ni vizuri, lakini kuliko kukimbilia na kukosa ukweli, ni vizuri kwanza unafuata ukweli, ndio hata ukikuja kutibu ukweli yako kwa meza inakubalika. Jambo lingine, nimesikia Jini Ngatia, my friend sana, akiongelea sijui kuna watu wamenunua sijui magari sijui nini, mambo ya makampuni ziko na mambo ya wafanyikazi wa county. Ukitaka vizuri, be like the regions, wanakuja naweka mambo kwa meza hivi, sema ni huyu na huyu na huyu. But if you fear, there's no need of you participating in a debate like this. Be open, weka mambo wazi. Kama venye mimi wakati nilikuwa kwa hizo serikali ilikuwa venye nilikuwa nakasifu mambo yenye ilikuwa inaenda vibaya, I was fearing nothing. I was open.
Time bana.
Yeah. Lastly,
Lastly, haya sawa. Jambo la mwisho ningetaka kusema, hata tukikosoa mambo zingine tuweke fact na pia tudumishe amani katika Nakuru County, na pia nikiongelea mambo ya War Memorial Hospital, ndio naona pia inaongelewa hapo, na ni vizuri tuiongelee juu pia iko kotini. Ni vizuri koti imeamua, lakini pia kuna right of appeal, and at the end ukweli utajulikana na mambo yote itakuwa imewekwa kwa meza. So nisiongee sana juu ya watu wengine, lakini pia tusiweke siasa za uadui kwa county government ya Nakuru yenye bado iko ni changa.
Asante sana Ngare, asante sana. Nilikuwa na issue na mic yako mara ya kwanza, sikuwa napendekeza mtu wa nini.
Asante sana. Asante.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe you can mute him, Dennis, and remove him as a speaker, then we can finish with Mr. We were having a submissions from the creative industry. I don't think he had finished.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Can I go ahead?
Ndio karibu, ni aje?
Yeah.
Welcome. Proceed.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, all of you. And I am sure I'm very happy we are discussing. Poa sana. I'm very sure we are happy that we are discussing matters to do with our county. If I can read correctly at the letterhead of our discussion, it states that this is the state of affairs, Nakuru County 0 number 32. So for me, I would suggest that we stick to Nakuru County. Let us not go to national issues, even though affecting us. We should discuss about Nakuru County issues. We should discuss about the leadership. We should discuss about our constituencies. We should discuss about our wards, because that is where all of us comes from. For example, we represent different counties here, different sub-counties. We represent different wards. We represent different villages, and so on and so forth. For example, if I can speak about where I come from Bahati sub-county. There is a ward called Kabatini ward. There is a center called Kabatini Center. The county government of Nakuru just the other day came with the bulldozers and they demolished shops that are owned by business people around that area, with an issue that they are going to upgrade and they are going to come up with a modern market. There is no laid down procedures about how much money is going to be spent on those so-called modern market stores.
We can't hear you, sir.
I think as he fixes his mic, we have Nakuru with network. Are you ready to speak?
Yeah, I am.
Welcome.
Asante sana. My name is Mohamed Amisi, aka Generali from Nakuru Town West constituency, specifically from Ronda Ward. I want to take a moment to acknowledge and applaud the incredible energy. Yes. Yeah, I'm saying I want to take a moment to acknowledge and applaud the incredible energy and initiative of our current Gen Z generation. Those who are present here, they have set a very good and remarkable tempo in building our country's governance debate, and for that, maybe we are grateful. We should not be here were it not for these guys. Secondly, I wish to urge all of us, the wananchi, the activists and so on, to actively in future be participating in public forums, public participation, and in this is the spaces that that the conception of crucial projects, government projects begins. The voices of wananchi and their input shapes the future of our communities. We find that in every public participation session initiated by the county government, which is a right in our constitution, you'll find a very low and a poor turnout. But during the lamenting of the government has not done this and so forth, you'll find that a lot of people are maybe criticizing, which is okay, but the whatever they are requesting or claiming for, it was never proposed. Number three, it is imperative that the government ensures proper and genuine funding for civic education. Most of these problems may be mentioned by my friend Gitukia, where he said that about the PLWD and so on. It is in this civic education where essential governance and advocacy basic skills are imparted. An informed citizenry is the bedrock of our robust democracy. Finally, I want to request, sorry for that, I want to request each and every member of where we engage our political platforms, let us engage with platforms without malice, without witch hunting, and let us identify problems and we give or we brainstorm probable solutions. It is in such cases whereby, for example, if Zuena or Dennis comes up with an idea of hosting Nakuru for state of affairs matters, let us not start defining them. Where are they? Where is their political alignment? Who are they? Who is behind them? No, because I believe that they have Nakuru at heart, and it doesn't matter. We are coming here to brainstorm, to come up with ideas to change our society, to change our community. I don't have much because I was traveling. I had to stop along the way to my submission. Maybe next time I'll be much so much details. But let us be supporting the administration that are there, the leaders that are there, criticize them positively. That is my submission, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to address you today.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Oh, we have a lady. Oh, nice.
Good evening.
Good evening, proceed.
I'm Mercy Amboyote from Kivumbini Ward.
Karibu.
Asanteni sana. So, on my side, I can say, let us not, like the way Ngatia is trying to say that we should not criticize this county government of Nakuru. The county government of Nakuru is really failing us. In fact, me as a youth, I'm not happy. Because when you see as youths of Kivumbini Ward, we are trying to do some things on environmental, but kuna wale watu wamekaa hapo kama makatels extorting money from us. You can imagine sisi tunangangana hapo, and there are those people from Nairobi coming to pick the garbage works. Yet we are here, we can be able to do our work, we have the tools, but some of the cartels, mtu anakuja anaona, because he has powers, he can go and sail through. The second thing, we have an issue on misusing of the money of the Nakuru County revenue. we are collecting a lot of revenue, but it is ending in people's pockets. Despite Ngari saying that we should not criticize this county government of Nakuru is really failing us, totally failing us as youths. Because they normally see us people from Kivumbini ward as people who cannot be able to work. We have our own guts and we can be able to work. Juzi kumekuwa na kazi ya climate change imehostiwa na World Bank, but unakuta tu ni cartels. Paka kazi yenye mama anaweza fanya apate pesa yake. We should not allow that. In fact, the governor anatufail kabisa. This is the second year and yet the governor is not able to see his wananchi in an office. What is she doing? Is she on the cars there pale hivi tu kupiga kelele kunini? No, mi kwanza kitu huo inaniuma sana ni ati unalipa tax ya 20,000, huyo mtu anachukua pesa yako anakuflosia hapo na gari, na huyo mtu ni mtu umeona kiajiriwa. Kwani are we there to ulipe mtu alafu mtu apate gari? Are we here in a corrupt society? We need accountability of our money. Despite hao watu kuona ati wao ndio wamefika.
Proceed. As she fixes her speaker, we have Daniel next. Daniel, kindly unmute and proceed as I try to sort out Mercy's mic.
Thank you very much, Zuela and Dennis. Kwa majina naitwa Daniel Kimani, almaarufu Junior Athens. Natoka Gilgil constituency. My home village is Nagu. It is in Nakuru Baruk ward. But mi naishi kwa Gilgil ward. So tuanze hapo kwa hiyo village nimetaja hapo ambayo inaitwa Nagu ambayo iko Nakuru Baruk ward, which have never seen any development from the county for like 2 decades. Kutoka I think serikali ya county yanze hakuna kitu washaifanya huko. Tutoke huko sitaki kuongelea sana huko, I'll get emotional. Now today nilikuwa ni join hii kitu around saa moja, sikuweza because there's one of the youth hapa Gilgil alikuwa ameshikwa courtesy of our MP Martha Wangari. Kuna vitu aliekelewa na allegations. Tumekaa huko kwa police station hadi saa 2. Thankfully okay, I'd like to talk sana kuhusu Nakuru County na kazi ambayo imekuwa ikifanywa Nakuru County, because I think hapa kwetu Nakuru County I really support Susan Kihika and her agendas, lakini wale watu ambao wanafanya kazi na Susan Kihika, I think we have one of the most shittiest CEOs and CECs in the country.
Daniel, mind your language.
Okay. I withdraw. Okay. Let's call them incompetent, but they are shittiest. I think that will go well, Dennis.
Yes, that's a better word, Daniel. Thank you.
Okay, because like me niko kwa industry ya real estate, and kuna like some things we call compliance certificate, ambayo ukikatakata shamba lazima go through the county ndio wakupe compliance, wakuambia okay umekatakata hii shamba na hii plan, and we've given you permission to go and subdivide it. There's that certificate ambayo inaitwa compliance certificate. Tumejaribu kuiongelelea since 2015. The previous serikali enda tukaingia kwa hii ya Susan Kihika. We've written, tumeandikia Susan barua, tumeandikia the county secretary, tumeandikia director of planning, lakini kwa hizo zote hakuna watu washaijibu, because we've been using fake documents kwa lands. hiyo nayo sitakosa kusema. And I know people here when wana deal na lands wanajua hiyo. We've been dealing with fake documents zenye zingekuwa zinaletea Nakuru County revenue. That is one way, as a county we are losing revenue. And kama kwa hiyo sekta yangu naonaga how much revenue they are losing, and I don't want to touch other inatupa revenue. As a Nakuru County we are losing a lot of revenue because of incompetent people ambao wako kwa hizo ofisi, na I think most of them walipewa kazi juu ya tunaweza sema cronies. Yeah, because they are cronies of the governor. But I think the governor needs to restructure her government to work for the people. I think I'll give my substance later. Na niko kwa ndio tunamalizia hapa police station, then I'll get back I'll get back here in a very few.
Thank you very much. Asante for keeping time. I wish you all the best with your issue at the police station. We have James Wakibia next, I think. Jemo, proceed. Unmute, then proceed.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this intervention or platform that you've created to discuss issues affecting Nakuru. I've heard people say that leaders should not be critiqued. Why are they leaders anyway if they cannot be critiqued? If you're a public officer, be ready for anything, both negative and positive. Nobody should be there to sing your song always. Always expect that the people will be unhappy about the things that are not being done well. First of all, we're not just addressing the issues of the governor, but also just all the constituencies in Nakuru. First of all MPs in Nakuru voted for the finance bill. That means a big blunder, because we all went to the demonstrations and protests because we were unhappy about the finance bill, which they supported. That means they failed the people of Nakuru. Secondly, other things that are now not doing well. For example, Nakuru PGH is underperforming. If you take a patient to Nakuru PGH, they will not be treated as soon as you want. There is a patient that was taken to PGH on Tuesday after she was shot by police during the anti-government demonstrations. And I think it took up to 3 days before she was finally treated. Sijui hata kama ametoa hizo rubber bullets, but she really did suffer for 3 days. You wonder what she was doing at her peri matibabu bora pale PGH. That means there is a failure. There is also another issue that really concerns me and the general public, and that is building of soko. Why are they building soko katikati ya Lions Garden, a very tiny public recreational area? Lions Garden wanataka kutengeneza kiosks. That is something that we should condemn at all costs. Open spaces must be protected at all costs, and previous governors have tried their best to preserve these open spaces. I do not understand why this administration is hell-bent at destroying public spaces, So Lions Garden should be protected. Those structures being built should be demolished as soon as possible, and we shouldn't allow or entertain such kind of a behavior. There is also an issue of lifting of caveat at Mau Forest. I've heard the governor and the president mention that they are going to lift caveat in Mau Forest so that people can go on and encroach the forest. This will not serve the public. This will serve a few rich people, those who will be able to get a big chunks of land. Therefore, caveat should not be lifted, because once we lift caveat in Mau Forest, we shall open the gates to the destruction of that very protected forest. So, and of course, there is an issue of War Memorial Hospital. We are happy about the course decision somebody definitely was interested in that piece of land, and we must condemn it. That hospital served people, served Kenyans, served Nakurians, and we want it back like tomorrow. And the governor has no role to play in attacking that hospital. We condemn it, and we hope that it will be opened as soon as possible. I know I have many points, but I will also allow other people to share their opinions and views. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, James. Thank you for being short and precise.
Then maybe we can,
yes,
we can consider, we had somebody from the creative, Mr. James.
Yes, we have Tonino who was speaking and was...
Mr. Ngari, yes, and then Mr. Ngari interrupted.
No problem. I'm going to put him next. We have Willie also. We had tried to connect him and he had an issue with the speaker. Let's allow Willie, because he's also from the creatives, to kindly air his submission. And then as I try to reconnect Antonio back, then we have two other speakers with mics on. Kindly just be patient. I'm wondering where our Nakuru girls are. Zoena, where are the ladies?
I don't know if Shikokeheka is here. She had purpose to attend, and she... Let me rally them.
Please. We need to hear the voice of women as well. Remember, we have a big issue with the two-third gender role. A lot of the Gen Zs are talking about scrapping of the women rep seat. So we need to have the ladies here. We need to hear their voices. Remember, Nakuru County is the first county in Kenya for having the most elected women leadership. We have Naivasha constituency with Muhesh Jain, we have Gilgil, Mheshimiwa Martha, we have Bahati Mrembo, we have Njoro, Mheshimiwa Kathambi, we have our own woman MP, Mheshimiwa Chelule, and then we have Governor Susan Kiika. So where are the ladies? Zuena, do something. Willie, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. Please give me 100, or if you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. My name is Willie Oeba. I am a spoken word artist and a human rights defender, but today I will not speak so much on issues creative economy, but I want to put out a disclaimer because I feel like this space is gagging people to talk, and I believe we should have freedom of speech. This is not a parliament whereby the speakers are really gauging civility and what should be said and what should not be said, because it gives paid bloggers vibe. So if you want this to be a citizen baraza, let us express ourselves wholeheartedly, because if it continues like this, then the host, you're really demotivating people to speak openly. First of all, I'll say we have been very lenient with these MPs and this county government and the governor. People are praising governors here. I think kuna watu wenye wanataka kupewa positions. I don't care. The person alikuwa ametoka anaitwa Anthony Ngare saying we had people from previous administration who are now malicious about how the government is being run. If they're malicious or not, we don't care, because this government has not been working. This government is always disseminating propaganda through bloggers, and I have had a fight with bloggers the whole week, paid by our money, our revenue. Kina I am Wakinda, I can see him here. Very shameless bloggers. We are coming with propaganda on my feed. First of all, I got a fellowship by the Ford Fellow, and they have accumulated articles saying how we are paying youths to disrupt peace and civility in Nakuru County. That is not true. Let us be driven. Can you hear me? I have a problem.
I can hear you. I can hear you. By the way, congratulations
We can hear you.
Really, congratulations on your achievement. Kindly, please just tell us what the award entailed. I mean, how you got it. Kindly just give us a quick overview of what you achieved. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. Let me finish first with the points I have, and then I'll tell you. We've had these propagandists. Ukijaribu kuongea Facebook, ukijaribu kuongea Twitter, ukijaribu kuongea anywhere, we have a mob, kina Wakinda, kina sijui Lumela, Grace na kina Arnold, wanakuja hapo. And it has been a circus, because hata watu wa Facebook na Twitter wamejua Nakuru wako na bloggers wenye wanakuja kucurtail freedom of speech and expression. Ukijaribu kuweka kitu wanakuja hapo. Another thing about that I'd want to put across ni historia on source revenue. In Nakuru, before this administration, tulikuwa tuna collect 3.3 billion. Right now we are collecting half. And Nakuru iko na the highest percentage of decline, 50% in all the counties. And kuna watu wenye hata wakanjo, wenye nowadays people don't pay revenue through the way it's supposed to be paid. Watu wana hapo Nasha Market, watu wanalipa cash, na hizo pesa zinaenda kwa mifuko za watu nowadays. Huko kwa Kware kuna mtu ameambiwa ni lori yako. So I think the governor ana focus na vitu zingine na governance imemshinda. Wacha tumwambie ukweli. The last thing is about the health na story ya Memorial. Memorial, we need to take it back, we need to reclaim it, and we need to come for it. And na toa points zilikuwa because watu wameshazisema zingine, story kama recreational facilities, kitu kama Nyayo Garden. Nyayo Garden has been taken and we need to take it back. About the Ford Fellowship, it's a fellowship that the Ford Foundation picks 26 people around the world every year, and you go through the masterclass fellowship and they give you a stipend and support, and after that you come up with a project whereby they support you, and my project is based and centered in Nakuru. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Willie, and congratulations once again. Nakuru County is proud to have you as its son. Zuena, do you have a next host? We have two other microphones on. Who wants to take it up, Tony or Mwakilishi Ongoba?
Yes, Geno, I'm on mic. I'm on standby mode.
Tony, proceed, continue. Welcome to our Twitter space.
Thank you so much, Zuena and Geno, for this opportunity, so that I can also get to contribute on the state of affairs of our great county, Nakuru. I am Tony Bidi. Anthony Kipyegon is my name, otherwise known as Tony Bidi. I'm sure that most of you are from Nakuru have come across Anthony Kipyegon. Because the day before yesterday, I woke up into the news that my photos and flyers bearing my image are being circulated in the county of Nakuru all over town. And I believe that these are things that were being done by the county bloggers, because they've been on my case for the last 2 weeks. And this first is something that I want to condemn and tell the people of Nakuru that I have nothing to do with the sponsoring of anarchy. I have no millions as it is being purported and being circulated on social media, that I've received millions, I don't know from which NGOs. I want to say that I have not received any money from anyone. And personally, I have not participated in any mandamano. And so this is just we have a rogue regime that is hell-bent on chopping the feet of young people who want to rise into positions of leadership. Secondly, I want to talk about maybe some of these things are just a repetition of what has been said. So many speakers have spoken about the decline in the county revenue. In fact, someone has just said that in the previous regime, our on-source revenue had hit 3.3, but I want to clarify that our county revenue had hit 3.9 billion. And it's so unfortunate to see a county like Machakos having a revenue target of 4 billion, but we, Nakuru, a city, having a target of 1.4 billion. That's very shameful of us. Someone has also said that the report of the Auditor General that was released for 2022-2023 was a mistake in regard to 1.4 billion that was highlighted to have been misappropriated by the office of the Auditor General. I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that the Auditor General can be that reckless to release a statement in regard to the county revenue and county expenditure if that thing was not used as it was highlighted in the report. The report was very clear that the report was let me read how the report was saying here. Sorry for that. Because we are told that about 116 million was lost on paying to private lawyers without adequate documentation on the or rather provision of evidence of services that were rendered by those lawyers. Again, in that report, it is clearly stated that the county could not account for 1.215 billion in payment to staff. This means that there could be many ghost workers in that county if 1.15 billion were paid to staff and it cannot be accounted for. That clearly tells us that we have quite a good number of ghost workers in that county. Again, how can Nakuru County spend 28 million to repair vehicles and for repair and maintenance of vehicles? 28 million. That's quite a lot of money. And again, for that. Again, in the same report, two officers of the county were found to have a bank to be sharing a bank account, and salaries were being paid in that account. Again, there was no clear explanation for that. Basically, we are dealing with a county that has with a failed leadership. And what we are asking for is very simple. We need accountability for every single coin. This is a public fund that are being mismanaged. And when we ask for accountability, we are being referred to as agents of chaos and bloodshed in the county. We are being told that we are sponsoring mandamanos. We are being told that we are spending millions to sponsor youth to cause mayhem and chaos in town. Yet, even my account has never read that anything close to 1 million. So basically, on the issue of the war memorial, we hope that going into the future, this county is able to check court order. We must have a county that respects court orders. And I hope that this time round, the county government will not send ghosts to the War Memorial Hospital. All we need is the respect of court orders and accountability. And this is something that we shall continue to ask for, irrespective of any coercions and any intimidations. We are not going to bow down for any intimidations.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. I think your time is up.
When it's Tony. Then I conclude on, please, 30 seconds for the
Tony, don't worry. I'll give you a second chance to finish up. We have over 28 requests waiting for us. But before we proceed, allow me to say something. Nakuru Twitter Spaces is a safe and inclusive place. We want each and every one of you to feel comfortable, express your opinions without fear of judgment or hostility. So please, we encourage openness, and no one should feel like we are gagging you or we are trying to manipulate or control this space to a certain narrative. I hope this is clear. And once again, asanteni sana watu wa Nakuru join space yetu. Keep asking members to join. We have over 28 requests here. I'm going to give it to the next speaker. Antonio, you are not finished. You are not finished before you were interrupted. Kindly, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to maliza what you had started, and then now we can go to Makilishi Onkoba.
Okay. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, so anyway, I was lost, nikasema tu wacha nishike shughuli nyingine kwa sijui kumeenda aje. Anyway, we are back. So in 2020, that I was saying Nakuru, actually let me say 2018, Nakuru was number 5 in cultural and creative industry out of 47. So that is the effort. I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to compare anything, but I'm saying the truth. Okay, let me say this before even continue. This time round, as Gen Zs and millennials, we are not missing our target. We know what we are talking about. And as much as we'll be intimidated by being profiled, it's still okay. But as you've said, this is a safe space. And we are saying this is the truth. And then tunaachia wananchi wajipange nayo. So this is it. We were number 5 in 2018, cultural and creative industry. By the grace of God, in 2020, when we were being given the city, we were also given as the creative city by UNESCO. Nakuru city, as we speak right now, is the only creative city in Eastern Africa and in Kenya currently. I'm trying to imagine, why not Nairobi, why not Kisumu, why not Mombasa, and all of these cities were there. So tulifanya mosho moja, and I can tell you the truth, it was 100% the creative industry. And it was championed by Babushe Maina, who has been the forefront on the creative city, and one officer from the county government, David, who was a cultural officer by then. So I will give credit where it is due. So in Storiota Creative City, it was all 90% to the creatives and probably 10% because we also appreciate the government for what they have done. But this is what I can say. Now as we speak, it's been 4 years since we were given as a creative city. And I can tell you, nothing is happening, and nothing, I don't think so, I don't know, because we have the willingness of the governor. But again, I would say this, people are lying to her, that everything is okay, and we are working, and we are doing, but I can tell you, as a creative city in Kenya, and as a creative city in Eastern Africa, we have an opportunity to over 367 cities of the world. So it's an open market that we're not taking advantage of. The other thing that I would also say, as we speak right now, we are number 34 in cultural activities, number 34 out of 47. So I don't know what is happening. And this is what I'll say, because I've already shared with the concerned departments. I've also shared with our governor. I have the screenshots of what I've been sharing with her, telling her that this is what is happening, and this is what is happening, the situation, this is what is happening. So I know she's aware, and she's a smart governor. So she knows what is really happening. So as much as officers think that we are not communicating, it is true we are communicating straight to the governor. Na anajua. So the other thing that I would say is this. When we launched the 5 years plan, the CIDP at Nyao Gardens, when we looked at the supplement where they drew, the county government is drawing, where it's drawing its revenue, we are shocked and surprised that the county government has been receiving since 2020 royalties. And I mean royalties. The moment you hear royalties, that you mean that is creative industry directly. Let me say because this is what they say, revenue collection by revenue sources. So this is the source of the revenue. Let me because we were on 2021, and let me talk about 2026, 2027, the royalties may be collected. So wasanii ambao kwa hapa sikizeni, 180, this is a million, 185.1 million shillings. This is royalties only. So we are asking, when you're collecting this money, where does it go? Because it does not go back to the creatives. Funny enough, this is what I'm saying, because in Ukweli, this time rather, we are not missing our target. You're speaking the truth because it's documented. Last year, we had a meeting with the county government. And I thank God some of the people who are here, even the county, I can see them, they're in this call. And they can bear witness. So we had the meeting, the city manager was there. One minute. Yes, the department was there. And the CVC in charge of trade, tourism and culture said this because we have noted it. There was allocation of 9 million for development in the cultural industries and 6 million for programs. So now, that is 16 million allocated. So we've been waiting. It has been 1 year. We don't know what is happening in that department. We don't know. Furthermore to that, we do not have a director right now. And this is the conversation we've been speaking in all our meetings with the county government. 2 months ago, we had a meeting with the CS together with the chief officer of youth and talent, and we brought the same issue onto their table, and we asked, why don't we have a director? It's been 3 years. We are crying of the same, because the director of culture is the mtu wa mkono wa hiyo department. Akona issues. That is the easiest person we can deal with. And he gave his word and said, hiyo tutamaliza. You don't worry, that one you can work it out within a week or 2 weeks. It's been 2 months. Further to that, we had an
I have to stop you. I have to stop you.
Just 1 minute.
Don't worry, just hang around. I'm gonna give you a second chance to finish up. Request the mob master.
Okay, no problem. Continue. It's okay.
Thank you very much for understanding. I think I can see you. I know you have a right of reply, but just hold on a little. Enoch, please take the stage.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Dennis and Zuena, for finding it wise to come up with this space. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
You are.
Thank you. I'll start by saying I don't think the problems we have as a county is a people issue. It's not the people in office who are the problem as per se. I'd say we've had a systemic issue since the inception of our county, 2013 to date. I'll say so because I've worked closely with, I think, both governments, beginning with the government of Kennedy Mbogwa, Alike Njui, and the current government. I think we have a systemic issue, not only as a county, but even nationally. The way even public participation is framed, it has a very weak framework. And I've raised this issue because I served in the County Budget and Economic Forum in the previous government. I've raised this issue now and again. Public participation is done in a very, very synthetic manner in this county of ours. That you will just sit, somebody said earlier that goons are always there. Ukienda Soilo, kuna goons watakuwa pale, who will shut you down when you're asking tough questions. You go back to county assembly wards, you find that city MCAs will come with their own people to pass their own agenda. And if that does not work, listen to this, back at the executive level, they will do a supplementary budget, which mwananchi has got no way of participating in. So it's a very, very weak framework that we have for public participation. And at county level in Nakuru, I think the work of the public participation thing is put under the Department of what do you call this department in Nigeria, watu wa Kanjo, public service, which is very underfunded. For the time I was there, I realized that it was somewhat underfunded, and people still lack, even as a county, people lack civic education, even as a people. And Omondi has touched about on this. Nakuru was one of the first counties. I don't know whether there is another county, but I think Nakuru did as well, to have a civic education act. Nakuru had one passed in 2013, but to date, the Department of Public Service has never had a shilling towards that, because that's why I say we have a systemic issue, because nobody in government, even if you go to America or any other place, nobody in government wants the people to know how the government is run, because in the city, in serikali. So I think it's a problem. I have an issue with the current government, and I'm happy Wakinda is here. Number one, Article 216, I think, of the Constitution of Kenya gives the CRA, gives CRA role to recommend, that is 216 I think, recommend regulations to how public finance is managed. And in 2012, they came up with an act, the Public Finance Management Act, that was passed by Parliament. 167 of the regulations of the Public Finance Management Regulations Act, that is now passed on to Article Section 155 of PFM Act 2012, gave the counties and all ministries, like ministries in national government, an opportunity, and it's actually mandatory, that we have an audit committees in place. But as we speak right now, and I want to confirm this, Nakuru County has been operating without an internal audit committee since, I think, last year. Nakuru County has also been operating without a county budget and economic forum since last year. All these things weaken the framework for public participation and the citizen engagement. So even as we speak here, we must start now asking questions of how, and start thinking of how we can strengthen the framework that we have for public participation and voicing our concerns. That is why I said it is not the people in office that we must blame, because even if we elected you, Dennis, to that office today, the framework that is there for us to hold you accountable is weak. The framework for you to deliver your mandate the way you wish to is somehow skewed, and it's a bit weak. I have an issue with the current public service board. I'm winding up. 1 minute, Anna. Yes, I'm winding up. I don't know whether you people are aware that in Nakuru County, as employments take place, an issue, a matter of ethnicity takes center stage. And these have actually asked the chairman of the board the same. We were in a forum in Naivasha and gave the framework of how they get how they employ people. And ethnicity is actually part and parcel of how they do it. And they say there is around 44% that has to be from a community which is Kikuyu, and then there's some 27%, and then the rest of us are called others. So even if they're employing 10 people and 5 Luos became top 5, they will not employ the 5 Luos because they are others. They can't be 50% of that team that will be employed. So that's another framework issue. So I think there are things that we need to do as a people. We start now engaging properly, not just venting, I don't like venting. I like coming up with solutions, and we need to move from there now to, yes, we vent first, and then we move from now venting to sitting on the table and voicing our concerns with clear strategies, with clear interventions, so that these people in government now can take the map and help now rejuvenate the system and help work the county work for us all. Thank you very much, Dennis.
Asante sana, Enoch. Thank you for being very clear. It seems public participation and civil engagement is also another hot potato in Nakuru County. I'm sure they're here and they've listened. And yeah, they should do something about it. Zuena, you want to say something?
Yes, I think there's a lady that has requested to speak. She's called Joanne. So Joshua, I don't know if you can trace her.
I'm also trying to trace a student leader.
Oh, yes.
Somebody, if you can hear me, kindly resend your request. We also need to hear from the student leadership of Nakuru County. And where are our agencies? Because being from the voices Yes, so kindly, we also need to invite as many young people as possible, Gen Zs. Waikinda, drop your mic and you have 3 minutes. Oh, sorry. There's a lady. Waikinda,
please,
just hold on.
Yes, please, yeah.
Tembo, proceed. Can you hear us? All right, as we fix that, Waikinda, are you there?
And please, let's take 2 minutes max, Dennis, for purposes of time.
Sawa. Time is flying and the requests are so many. Waikinda, can you hear us? We have two people with mics and they are nowhere to be found. We have gone MIA on us. All right, no problem. Let's proceed. Let me add 2 more speakers. I've seen Jerusa.
Yes.
Jerusa, you have a mic now. Proceed. Who was the mic?
Joanne, just unmute yourself and you can proceed to talk.
I have seen the student leader is around. Joanne, can you hear us?
Joanne, we can't hear you. Dennis, has she unmuted her mic?
No. Suleiman, can you hear me? All right. Junior Kidero.
Basi langu jina ni Peter Wanzala, almaarufu Daktari Junior Kidero, mkaaji wa London kutoka Nakuru West. Number one, let me first of all commend the county government of Nakuru, led by Her Excellency Governor Sonika, for showing interest in completing the stalled or rather the ongoing projects from her predecessor. I think that is commendable, and I encourage her to continue working that way. 2, I will talk about 2 things. I know maybe some of them have been raised, especially in the county government of Nakuru. 1, I would like to encourage the governor and her team to respect court orders, especially the current issue that we are having about the war memorial. I realized that orders were being issued, but the governor and her team went ahead to ignore those court orders, invading the facility even at night. It is not in order. You know, you cannot talk about universal health coverage when you are really destroying the facilities that should help you achieve that. So let's obey court orders, even from what has been issued today. If she's to appeal, it is within her right as a governor, but the court orders must be respected. Number two, you realize in her, when she's employing, there's a problem. As a minority, you realize you are sidelined, and the majority of her nominees, of course, the law is very clear, but cannot just have a certain community dominating almost everywhere without taking into consideration for other tribes who really voted for you. I think she must check on that, because it is really hurting for the minorities and other members of the community. Otherwise, members should not be gagged on what to say. I saw some of my friends trying to give directions. Members should speak freely. They should call a spade a spade. We are here to correct each other. We are here to help the government achieve. And of course, when it achieves, all of us will achieve. So members should not be gagged on what to say, and or be guided on how to say it. Otherwise, thank you so much, Dan and Dennis and Abi, for this space. I hope ndio mwanzo mkoko tunalika maua. Asanteni.
Asante sana Juna Kidero, ulianza vizuri kwa lugha sanifu ya Kiswahili. Nilikuwa natamani uendelee na umalize kwa lugha yetu ya fasihi, lakini haina neno. Shukran. Zuena.
Yes, Dennis.
Two ladies have mics on.
Okay.
I don't know how we can guide them.
Tembu, you can proceed. Tembu? Maybe we can pick other speakers, Mr. Dennis, and as you're doing that, allow me to clarify and had to go back and check the website for the Auditor General. There is no apology from her office in regard to the audit in Nakuru County. It's very important that I put that across, and it's very important that we are honest enough with each other to understand the role of the Auditor General and how she cannot make such mistakes. Her office has really demonstrated a lot of accountability in terms of auditing the county government, and so I feel I needed to clarify that, because Mr. Ngari came out very strongly that there was an apology. There is none whatsoever, and it's good I clarify that. Thank you.
All right, we have Joan.
Hello. This is myself from Kivumbuni Ward.
Proceed.
A resident of Nakuru Town West.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the problem is that the Nakuru County have accountability and the transparency of everything they're doing. And when we have any question about the governor and the team, we can form the people who are in opposition can form the task. But when we come out with so many propagandists about the money that's been stolen from where to where, who stole the money? Because there's always the Auditor General. The report which was given by Auditor General, it was fake, and they request they say that this is a fake report to the county government of Nakuru. Two, another thing we can do as we speak. Let us give the government time to put everything in task, because it's a new government, county government of Nakuru, as we speak. It's 2 years down the line. But the former regime are very impatient with the county officials. If there's a corrupt officer, CC or CO, they can act. They can take the person to the court. The constitution allowed us to go to the court. But let us stop insult from the social media, the Facebook, the WhatsApp. That won't make any sense. So naomba nini mtulivu tukue nayo, ili Governor Susan Kika apange kazi yake. Kama kuna yote wizi yote katika county Nakuru, hata sisi tunaangalia, tuko katika hiyo county hii, the number of employment. Some has raised the issue of employment. Number of employment imekuwa shida, hata sisi wa minority tunalia. But she has promised us that each and every person will get a space. What we need in Nakuru County, people hawana kazi. So tunaomba kwamba tukue utulivu, mambo itapangwa na kile kitu iko sawa katika Nakuru County. Asante.
Asante sana for your views.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity that you've given to me. I've been waiting since 7 for me to be able to speak. So my name is Suleiman Wangila. I'm a former student leader. I know majority of you we've met. I'm a former student leader in Kenyatta University in the Nakuru County and also at the national level and Akuso. So I had just some issues that I think I had to bring forward to you guys. Because I've just been, I was also an aspirant in 2022 elections in Kivumbini. I was the youngest, I think, because by that time I did my best anyway. So there are some issues that I wanted to highlight concerning our county. Me, I'm not going to touch too much on the governor and her team and whatever mess she's doing. Whatever mess she's doing, that is her own. I don't know. There are some other people that can do that. But me, I want to touch on things that are affecting students, the graduates, and those ones that are yet to come. The first thing is employment. I run a company that does marketing and other stuffs, other logistical stuff. So I toured Nakuru, the whole of Nakuru County, and I realized we don't have any functional company that can be able to employ our people. Most of the companies in Nakuru are dead. I want to challenge those ones in Naivasha. I want you guys to tour the flower farms. That is the Kinashaka, Ruturi, all that long, and see how many are closing down. But when you go to other regions, the businesses and the companies are coming up. But in our region, they are not those ones. So when it comes to employment, the only thing that has remained as a source of employment is the politician handouts for our youth. And those ones you can attest. That's why you see we end up electing funny characters in our county. So for the thing, I would really like to challenge the government, the county government and the leaders at all. Can you guys go out and lobby, create a conducive environment, like
Sorry, proceed. Kindly, if you have a mic with you, kindly mute it. Ngatia, kindly mute your mic. Proceed.
Okay, sorry for that. On the employment opportunities, I would really love us to those ones that are in those leadership positions. Can they just try to lobby outside the county and other people to come and invest in Nakuru so that they can be able to create employment opportunities? Because to be honest, you know, these politicians, they know how to manage us. They always ensure that we remain poor so that they can buy us cheap. And that has always been the strategy all round. But Nakuru case is worse. So I'm really praying and urging those ones that are in those positions to be able to consider this, because you are producing a lot of graduates who are jobless. So people are venturing into other private things. Even private schools are shutting down. So it means that there is something wrong with the Nakuru business environment. So we need to look at that. The second thing, I want to talk on the CDF and our MPs. The CDF money is being eaten, and is being eaten badly. I can tell you, when I was a student leader, there was some auditing that we did some times back. An MP wrote a check of 2 million to a particular school. This school only had 10 students, of which each student received 5,000. So it means that this school received 50,000 from the bursary. But the money that now came in excess was about 1.95 million. Yeah. So this 1.95 million is what now the school bursar maybe can take about 50, then channel the rest to the MP's account. So I'm really urging you guys, as we push on the agenda of accountability on the county government side, let us also channel the accountability to the MPs side, because our MPs are stealing more money than even the governors. That's why you see they can talk trash, because they know the money they get is a lot of money. Yeah. So that is another thing that you need to check on, is the accessibility and availability of the bursary, and also the openness in issuing them, and also where the accounts this money is being deposited to. I don't know if you have heard of those rumors. I don't know about Gekari. I don't know the truth of the matter, because I saw it in social media somewhere, that I don't know, he gave out 26 million, but the amount that reflected in the Auditor General was 81 million. So people are asking where the rest of the money is. So I don't know, but we really need to check on those things. Lastly, that I want us to check is the land grabbing issue in our county. A lot of land grabbers are looking for public and private lands, and they are clinging on them. Let me give you an example. I come from Kivumbini, and the area of Kivumbini, I can tell you for free that we have those county houses, and those county houses, I don't know why the county don't want to collect maybe some rent from them, but they opt I don't know what they are doing, but I had some rumors that they want to demolish the whole houses, then be able to distribute among themselves. Like ukienda pale Kisulisuli has been grabbed. Kenya Railways land here, hapa hivi Kingdom Seekers has also been grabbed. So they are eyeing the Kivumbini and the county houses. So I'm really praying to God that let them not be this evil, because if they demolish Kivumbini and those county houses, they are going to impact a lot of lives. So I'm really grateful to the Akina Abby and Dennis for giving us this opportunity, and I will really wish that we continue engaging, we continue getting that opportunity so that we'll be able to engage. And I'm encouraging the youths of this country, wherever they are, and if they can hear me, that 2027 is our year, and we really need to wake up, go take the vote, because that is the only weapon that is going to help us here for us to have better and good governance ahead. I'm really praying that we can speak in one voice. I know we are leaderless, we are tribeless, and I'm also feeling the pain. We've lost a lot of people, and I know we are going to have a concert or a peaceful concert in our garden. So I'm urging everyone also to turn up in large numbers and support us. For that, I think I want to thank the host. I think if I'm given another opportunity, I'll be able to speak to you. May God bless my good county of Nakuru. Let us continue engaging.
Thank you very much, Suleiman. Thank you very much for your views. Asante sana, and please, as you go out there, encourage more Gen Zs to join these spaces, encourage them to join these conversations, because at the end of the day, we want to live for a country rather than die for it. Asante sana, Sule. Wakinda. Wakinda? All right.
We had Mr. Abdi had not made his submissions. Dennis, I don't know if you can trace him.
I think he has a mic.
Abdi, then.
Kimolel Sotiki.
Asante sana. I think I prefer using Swahili because I'm more fluent using Swahili.
Karibu.
Kwa majina naitwa Edwin Rapto. Natoka Kuresoi South Ward ambayo inaitwa Timate. Na nilikuwa mmoja wa wale campaigners wa Madam Governor. ikafika mahali I think last week nikaona vile county inaendelea haiendelei vizuri, nikasema acha nishuke kwa basi ndio tuangalie tusaidiane kama wananchi tusaidie county yetu kuendelea na kupoint out mistakes za Madam Governor. I think Madam Governor pengine sio mbaya, sisema anaweza kuwa mbaya, lakini wale watu wako karibu naye ndio wamemharibu, wanampatia advice ambayo ni mbaya. Mambo ya employment sana ndio imenitoa kwa hiyo team kabisa, nikasema wacha nitoke kabisa. To think otherwise, kama Madam Governor atachange ni sawa, lakini kama hatabadilika tutakuja tupange pamoja tuone vile tunaweza saidia county yetu kwa sababu ni yetu sisi wote kabla zote. Na vile county ilikuwa inaendelea, wacha nikwambie vile ground mali niko saizi ni interior kabisa, tinetu ward mali nasikia ni I can see ni ward ya Androgo yani. So ukimagine ile ward iko marginalized. Na kulingana vile kazi ilikuwa, wale watu wafanyikazi walikuwa wameapply kazi, tumeshangazwa ni nini inaendelea, kwa sababu kuna my cousin brother alikuwa amefanya interview na alikuwa mmoja wale walikuwa na top, lakini hakupewa hiyo nafasi na hakupewa hata regrets kuambiwa haukupata hiyo nafasi kwa sababu ya hii na hii, walisukia tu yeye ametemwa nje. So hatutaki tufanye county yetu ionekane kama ni ya ukabila, na sisi wote tunapendana, isipokuwa tu wale watu wachache wamekaribia governor na pengine governor mwenyewe. So kama kuna vile inaweza rekebishwa, especially mambo ya wajiri wafanyikazi warekebishwe, asitumie ukabila, watumie competence. Kama ni competent unapatiwa kazi na integrity, lakini sio ukabila. Kama saizi nipatiwa kazi ati wanapatia wakali 20 na sisi wote ni failures, hakuna mahali tunaweza saidia county, hakuna haja tupewe kazi. Hivyo kwa Wakikuyu, kama ni Wakikuyu 100 na hawezi kazi wasipatiwe. So I think sisi wote tunataka service delivery, sio ati mambo ya ukabila. Mambo mengine ni mambo ya tenders, vile wanafanya wana award watu. Sidhani iko fair. Unapata kuna MC anatumia proxies wake, yeye ndio anajipatia tenders, lakini yani anapewa wale watu wake akijua kuna ile kickback atawapatia, lakini kazi ni yeye mwenyewe ndiye anafanya. So I think hiyo ndio kitu tunafaa kuangalia juu. Hii tenders inafaa kubenefit especially sisi vijana. Mimi sio kijana sana, lakini naweza jiita tu kijana juu sijakuwa mzee sana. Hii tenders, kama hujapata kazi upatiwe tenda, lakini si ati unapata MC ama wale watu wako masisi ndio wanajipea hiyo tenders juu. Hata sasa nikiweza uliza kwa hii group nani umepatiwa tenda, I think naweza kosa hata mmoja mwenye amepewa tenda na umeapply. Mtu na renew NC unafanya nini lakini upewi tenda. Kuna watu unapata mtu amepewa tenda this month, anapata tenda nyingine next month. So hapo sio fair. Sitaki kumaliza muda, unaweza patia mtu mwingine.
Asante sana Kimogoli, asante sana kuwasilisha
Hapa Deno. Deno Amia.
Abdi Maniza, you are here earlier, please kindly, it is almost 10 p.m.
Yeah, I'll only use 2 minutes. Okay, mine is, I just have 4 points. Number 1, kuna UCC anaitwa John Kihagi. Kuna complaint mingi nimepata yake ya kwamba approvals za since last year hajazipitisha, anaenda nazo mpaka kwake nyumbani. Huyo UCC tunafaa tumtembelee, tumsalimie, sababu hiyo ni anarudisha county nyuma because of the revenue na pia kazi, because hizo ma approvals ikipita si kazi zinaendelea, wenye wanaendelea kujenga na maisha yanaendelea, but the guy is so corrupt mpaka ni kickback tu anataka. So that one we should address. Our to blogger wa governor naona mko hapo, mpeleke report number 1. Number 2, Susan Kika anafaa, governor anafaa ajue ku respect court orders, kwa sababu kuna ile ya wewe memorial. Sisi kama wafanyikazi tulishinda kesi last year, amekataa kutulipa, ana disobey court orders. Sasa akiendelea kudisobey court orders na sisi tuambia wananchi wasilipe tax, ama wasilipe license, unaona hapo tutakuwa tunakosana. So yeye pia anafaa jua kwamba koti lazima iheshimiwe vile sisi tunaheshimu county government na tunalipa tax na tunaheshimu hiyo ofisi. Number 3, Moi Memorial, hiyo hospitali lazima itarudi. Wapende wasipende, hiyo it must, lazima itarudi. Nimeona yeye ameandika kwamba it was a draconian rule, na senator amesema Nyandarua court imefanya haki. So tunaangalia hata kama wataendelea kututhreaten na kutupa mabarua huko town kwa kututishia kwamba tuko na mamilioni ya kwamba tuna sponsor anarchy. Mimi hata sasa pesa miralo nimekosa niko kwa nyumba. Ningekuwa na mamilioni ningekuwa niko home kweli. Ya mwisho na the last one. What space today it was a trial. Next time we need CCs wako hapa. CEO, we know governor hawezi kuwa hapa. Yeye anakuanga tu around when Ruto is around. Tunajuanga. He's always an aviator governor. He's not always seen around. So because najua hawezi kuja, he kindly send atume watu wake wakuje, because hao wako hapa ni juniors kama sisi. Hata report on, I don't think watapeleka hizi ripoti. So tunataka hata CC or CEOs the honor to appear in these spaces next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abby.
Dennis, I can see Shiko. Maybe we can have really been waiting for her to join the space.
Yes, Shiko, karibu sana.
Maybe you can give her the mic. I hope she has the mic.
She has the mic.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you, Abby and Dennis. There's a lot to say and a lot has been said, but I want to pick it from saying there is nothing like ati watu ambao wanazunguka governor. Incompetence has no advisors. If the governor wants to do, she will do. So if she cares for people of Nakuru, she will listen to the grievances of people of Nakuru. It's not about the people surrounding her. And again, the people surrounding her were selected by her. And I say selected because it was handpicking. So if she selected incompetent people, then it really speaks more about her CV. Second to say is that someone has said that 2 years is a short time. 2 years is not a short time. This government is no longer a new government. We are in the second implementation of our annual development plan, meaning we are heading towards the center of our CIDP. So we are no longer in a new government. The revenue collected between the last 2 years are supposed to serve this county government. So this is not a new government. We do not have time to wait and see. Actions are supposed to have already been taken, and we're supposed to have been seeing the results already. And third, I want to add and say the arrogance within the people who work in this county government perplexes me. And why am I saying that? You cannot be paid by my taxes, and you can't pee on our faces the way you want just because you work for the governor. No, you do not work for the governor. You work for us all, the people of Nakuru, who feed your people, who feed you, and who pay your rent. I think it's very critical. And I've been seeing so many people coming. I like the fact that the same people are saying, oh, matusi ya online sijui nini. But the same people are the same people who are coming to insult people online. I had a conversation somewhere last year in September with one of the people. He was the CEO for public engagement in something. And he said something that really stuck in my head because he said it to young people. And he said, when young people asked about unemployment, he said, wajifunze kupiga hesabu so that next time they align politically and they're able to get jobs. I do not know what that means. But this is the thing. Nakuru is home to most of us. We have no other home. And we are here to fix our county. We are here to work for our county. So if people would sit down and for a moment ask yourself, why is it that I earn the salary that I earn? And what is the legacy that I'm going to leave at the end of 5 years or 10 years, if it's going to be? Because, and this is something I keep saying, the work of a county government or a national government is not to tell us what they've done. It's for us to see what they have done. And ultimately for me is also to say that sometimes if you're going to go out here and propel propaganda, then please have facts. Because sometimes it's really weird to see someone trying to drum an issue Well, you have zero facts. Come down to what is our audit report? For those of us who've gone through the Auditor General report for Nakuru County, I think there's only one thing that people have been having a conversation about, and that is the travel cost for Nakuru County. And the one thing that I've been asking is, why don't we come back and start auditing how many tenders go to young people? We have 30% tenders that are supposed to be for young people, persons with disability, and women. We must, as a county, sit down and ask ourselves, how much go to young people, how much goes to persons with disability, and how many of the tenders will go to the women. That way we have a framework to even audit how many young people actually access these tenders, how many persons with disability access these tenders, how many women do the same. And then lastly, because I don't want to take the entire time, there's a sickness called our MCAs and bursaries. And I have seen how women go to those offices and beg. Bursaries are not a favor. And maybe we need to go down to the ward level and say we have to have a framework and a structure of how bursaries are distributed. Because we cannot strip our people of their dignity because of 2,000 bob, 3,000 bob bursary money that is not even enough. We must call our goods back home. We must speak to our MPs and ask them the tough questions. Because unless we get there and we start asking these questions, then we are killing this so-called city of ours, and it will never see the light of day. And just to finish again, someone mentioned about us holding our MPs accountable. It is a spring, by the way, and I'll just stick to the bursary conversation, and hopefully we're going to have another conversation and we can unpack all these things. We have bursaries by the governor, by the MCA, by the women rep, and by the MP. Tell me why Nakuru County cannot have a people-sponsored education, because it's not free education and people do not have to beg for bursaries. Tell me why with all these monies we cannot have our kids access quality education. We cannot have our kids access favorable education, food in school, and are able to go back home knowing that our parents can be satisfied. And I say that I've kind of attached the whole chain because I know the county government is only in charge of a specific sector of education. It's not fully devolved. So this is a joint effort, and that is why we have representatives at the national level, we have representatives at the county level, and we have the representatives who are the women rep, who most of the times we don't know what they do. And unfortunately now we also have a senator who it's really hard to understand if she understands her role. So for us is to ask ourselves, we elected these people, it's not a favor they're doing us. How do we hold them accountable? How do we sit down and have conversations with them? How do we even say beyond Twitter spaces, can we call for a town hall and have the young people of Nakuru say, these are our issues and these are the timelines and this is how we want them addressed? Because at some point, this county will be left to all of us. And this is the worst thing, governments are transitional, they will not be here forever. Most of us, other governments will find us here, and we must learn to guard and defend what is ours in the space we call home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shiko, for being very bold and forward. Asante sana. We have someone from Naivasha, Francis.
Thank you so much. Good evening to the viewers. Sorry, I came in late. My name is Ireri Nyaga, and it's very great to have this conversation today. I'll speak in terms of our county, and it's very absurd that we have a very rich county where we are ranked the 6th position in revenue collection. This means that the people of Nakuru County, they deserve better services. We have seen the current states of our hospitals in the county. We have seen the way the services that are supposed to be given by the county when it comes to garbage collections, the way what the county is doing for our people. Now, because of time, I want to narrow down also to Naivasha constituency. To be honest, it's time that now the Gen Z have done a very good job. They have come into politics, which actually myself personally, I really hated politics. That even prompted me. But when I saw how our finances are handled, I got curious, and that's what prompted me to run for a member of parliament position, because I felt like we have leaders who are not taking care of our people. For instance, if people over the years, people have been complaining about employment opportunities in Kenyan. If you go to Kenyan even today and do just a research on how many people are unemployed who are employed in Kenyan, for instance, and we have so many graduates who have come from Nakuru County, you will not find maybe even 10% of it, actually 2% of people who are from Nakuru County. And that's is a big shame, because I've seen the previous governor, for instance, Lee Kinanjui, I've seen some member of parliament really trying to fight for those positions, which is very unfair for the people of Nakuru County. And looking at it also in the perspective of even tourism, I recall, I think last year sometime, there was a day that all the parks, it was a free entry for people in the park. I don't see why, like for instance, Nakuru National Park, we should have maybe a pass for people from Nakuru County, or even for local people, so that we can be able to bring more resources and the income for the people of Nakuru County, which we already have a lot of money coming to the county. But as previous members have mentioned, there's a lot of corruption going on in our county, such that people cannot even get resources. And you find most people in Nakuru County, tunasomesha watoto, wanasoma, wakitoka shule, our parents look for jobs outside Nakuru County, yet our county is capable. We have engineers, we have doctors, we have a lot of people who can work in the Nakuru County. Someone else have mentioned about flower farms. I don't think if those flower farms in Nakuru County can be kept at check in a way that the salaries that they are paying the employees of flower farms, if they improve the salaries, but hearsay has it, leaders go and get money from flower farms, they cannot take care of their employees. I don't see a point whereby a young man who was maybe, let's say even a Form 4 labor, who has energy, who can go work in a flower farm, but the moment he sees the 6,000, 7,000 shillings, there's not even work there. That's why you see import labor outside the constituency, because there's no one willing to work for 7,000. Yet our leaders can see. We have seen countries that are developed. Flower farms, for instance, they have schools, they have a creche for young mothers. We have transport for those workers. And if you look, even go around our constituency and look at the flower farms, it is a shame that women are working, old women, young women, like people are working distances to go to work. They work long hours, but the companies don't check, don't give a damn, because our leaders have closed their eyes. They're getting whatever they're getting. And as Shiku has mentioned, or I don't know who had mentioned, the leaders we elected is like they have become the bosses. Yet us as a people, we are the bosses. Then I'll go back and just mention about the CDF as well, and also bursaries, as Shiku has mentioned. I see people waking up at 3 o'clock to go and queue for a bursary of 2,000 shillings, and yet you're not even guaranteed. Can we have a system whereby there's exposure? Let's learn that this bursary is allocated to the governor, this bursary is allocated to the MCA, this bursary is allocated to the employee. How is it shared? It's unfortunate that, for instance, a school in Maimahio, you see a class with 200 students, 180 students, and is one teacher training. How do you expect that child, and you compare to somebody in another county where maybe the ratio of the student maybe 16 in a class? So it's unfair, and it's a time for us now to question our leaders. And also, when it comes to voting, can we just look at someone what are they passionate about the job they're being given? Because it's about handouts. You get we buy the electorates. Once we buy them, we cannot question them. And it's a high time that we take this opportunity to put to shape up our county so that we can achieve what we want to achieve as a people of Nakuru County, because it's a rich county that deserve better. And that's my remark, short remark. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Asante sana. Lodiba?
Yeah, hi guys, mko poa lakini?
Tuko fresh.
Kabisa. Yes, we can.
Yeah, I've been here with you guys, I think, since in 7:30.
I've been following conversation, net inaenda chini tunarudi tena. I'll start by saying that it's a high time people who are occupying public office understand one thing. It's not about profit making. It's not about amassing wealth. It's about servanthood. And we have to make sure that one actually sinks in their brains, like ikonika cancer kwa mwili zao. Whoever wants to join, hata wenye wako hapa saa hizi, because I can see most of them are here. Sorry, I'm about to disappoint some people here because I'll call out names. Jemo was here telling us about creative industry, and he was in Lee Kenyanjui's regime, and he was a gatekeeper in that office, as it is. So whoever else who knows he was here and was in public office and ulifungia wase, just know it's coming to bite you back. Because spaces here will be calling you people out, plain and simple as it is. Because it's high time we change our mentality, Maze. People are suffering. We're here talking about War Memorial Hospital. My word, I vote for my Mahio. And the guy who just finished talking, he's from Naivasha. I'm from my Mahio, but I live in Nakuru town right now. Like few months ago, kumekuwa na dam. There were over 60 people. Do you know someone had actually posted in a group, we have a WhatsApp group called My Mahio Home, had posted at 7:19 p.m. about the dam going to break. But everybody ignored the whole of that scenario. What happened? It was on Sunday night to Monday. What happened after that? At around 3 a.m. in the morning, lives were lost. Houses were destroyed, like livestock. You can't even explain it. And Dennis, thanks for actually acknowledging that we are the only county which has majority women elected. But I see it as a curse in this case. I'm sorry, ladies, for saying this, because right now we have a back and forth between the governor and the senator. We can't get services done because kuna beef between governor and senator. Like, we are the one who elected you people. It's a high time you respect our votes. You respect the fact that we woke up at 4 a.m. in the morning to go and queue. We elect you, not you to become our boss, for you to become our servant, for you to serve us, for you to serve our people. It's not a favor they are doing us to ati unapata MP governor ameenda huko Molo amepiga mapicha amejaza kokoto kwa barabara mazingine kubwa kubwa hapo alafu anakuja kupiga mapicha ati anadeliver. No, it's for us to tell you if you are doing your job. It's not for you to tell us, hey, by the way, angalieni kazi yenye nawafanyia Z. It's not a favor. CDF is not a favor. Bursaries is not a favor. Kupata maji kwa mfereji ya nyumba yako every single day is not a favor they are doing you. It's a right. It's something we deserve. It puzzles me the fact that you can't go to governor's office because she's not ready to see people. Like, I was about to curse. Like, what's wrong with you? When you are campaigning to get a seat, alikuwa nalala mpaka na huko hivyo Kuresoi na huko Wandorobo wanakaa huko ndani kabisa, alikuwa anaenda kulala huko na wao. But right now wako na PA ako very busy anatuambia you can't see the governor. We need to change this mentality, guys. And we can only be able to do this if we keep on supporting the Gen Zs. Because millennials, we've failed. The last 10 years za devolution, millennials ndio wamekuwa wakioccupy those offices. They are the one who are misadvising the same guys who are top up there. Very busy, sorry for saying this, becoming house Negroes. Unaona, hiyo ni kazi yao. It's a high time we change this. And we can only be able to do this by helping the Gen Zs to keep on pushing for the agendas. Gen Zs don't want to become leaders, by the way. They don't want to. They just want good governance. That's all they want. They want to be able to sit down and afford an iPhone and a Wi-Fi and a M-Pesa kenye tu hakutuna ka float kake tu yani. Like that's all they want. But if we can't be able to give them that, we owe them. We are failing them. So, Manze, like, I know most of you guys are here. Like, there's a guy who came and said that Susan Keka, she's been working for 2 years. We give her time. There's no time. She knows very well. She has 5 years. Once you step in the office, anza kazi. And blame game at the previous regime. Government ni government. Doesn't matter who's there. The government. I hear Jemo saying at the offices sijui kumekuwa na at the system is no longer working because hatujakuwa na CEC or someone, hatujakuwa na director. How? Yet nikifungua kibanda changu tao kanjua atokangi kwa mlango wanangoja nilipe licenses. Nikitoa muziki yangu ama nikishoot video yangu wanangoja nilipe licenses, nilipie Prisk, nilipie CSK, nilipie sijui akina nani. Yet kwa ofisi hakuna msee ana work, but kuna msee anapatanga kasalo. Like guys, we need to wake up. We need to be mad. I don't think we are mad enough. We're handling this in a very diplomatic way. We need to be angry. We need to feel it. The Gen Zs have shown us we need to do this, and the high time we support them in doing this. Thank you so much, you guys. They know Abi for giving us this space. We should keep on doing this. And if we are going to do this next week, can we try and reach out for the governor? Can we be able to reach out for those CECs who occupy those offices? Watu join, tuandike mabarua, tuandike ma posters, tuzitume X na social media zote, tukiwa demand wakuje. We have questions. We can't keep on having barazas kama hizi bunge la wananchi and they're not here to answer questions. And since they are too busy to have time for us, we do what? Tuandete X. Na ikata, tunaenda kwa visit, tuko kwa visit meetings, tuko kwa offices zao. Thanks so much, guys. God bless you.
Thank you. We are running out of time.
Can I speak?
Just a minute.
Kombori.
All right, proceed.
Okay, asante sana. So, yeah. I hope you can hear me.
We can, though there's an echo.
There's an echo and some noise. Maybe you can get to a quiet place. Yes.
Can you get to a quiet place as Kayana takes out the mic, please?
Can you hear me now?
Dr. Kamburi.
Okay. You can give it to somebody else and look for a quiet place.
Just do a quiet place. Yeah.
Mr. Kayana?
Hello, habari yenu?
Poa.
Mnanisikia?
Ongeza volume kidogo tu.
Volume yangu, okay. Are you guys hearing me? Are you getting me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, ningependa kushukuru Abi na Deno for this platform, for this forum. It's been a long time coming. Na imekuwa, I think I have 3 minutes. It's been a long time coming. Na imekuwa ikihitajika. Like, there's been a need for this kind of forum where people can express, can say the issues they see, they feel that is wrong, or they feel that is right with the county government of Nakuru. Special shout out to Willie Oeba, Shiko Kihika, and Abdullahi Aden. Those 3 guys wameongea vizuri sana. Our host tafadhalini. Freedom of speech extends to saying things that are not pleasant. As long as it's not illegal, let the person say what's in their heart. That is part of freedom of speech. The owner of this app, Elon Musk, he spent $46 billion. The app is free. In the spirit of it, let freedom of speech isikwe curtailed. wacha mtu aongee vijana, as long as hajavuka the legal parameters, wacha watu waongee tafadhalini. Any word, curse words zikubalike. See, we saw in the first one, the first space we saw akina Amerix telling kina Murkomen to fuck off. Hapa you can't, mkijaribu kununi, when you try to curtail some words, the use of some words, I'm telling you, you will, kuna watu watakuwa off, yeah? It will put some people off. Kuna a WhatsApp page to share this link. We have some members here. Some of our members have communicated. We were doing the discussion about this page, about this space, kwa hiyo page. Now they are not, honestly speaking, they are not pleased with the issue of use of parliamentary language kwa forum. Watch out to waongee, let people speak, let people use the words they are comfortable with. We are not auditioning for anything. So personally, from the tone of some speakers here, I could think maybe someone is auditioning for a job for county. Staki to impress me, anybody in the county, or then I'll speak the truth. To the issue, give me 2 minutes in my net. By 25 I'll be through. Issue ya kwanza Nakuru County, the state of affairs zimekuwa mbaya. They have not been good. Out of 10, mimi ningepea governor a 2, a resounding 2. And that's being very, very kind to her. Nakuru, we have seen things going wrong. See every department, see health, see youth affairs, see revenue collection, see agriculture, everything has been going wrong in the county. Upande ya revenue collection, we are seeing the way, these people from the counties, like they are coming, in campaign mode, or they use a lot of propaganda to gain the seat. They have no clue of how to defend their boss. They have no clue of how to transmit message yao to the public. They come here with propaganda. We saw Anthony Ngare Maina from Masha Market, a very good friend of mine. And I come up, he tries to tell us the Auditor General was wrong. But the money reduced. For a fact, we all know. Abia ameenda ka confirm saizi. She has said it. Confirm kwa Auditor General. Money was lost in Nakuru County. The revenue dropped from 3.9 billion to 1.5 billion. That's over 50% revenue drop. Now, the revenue drop. Bear in mind, when the governor came in, they increased the rates, the levies for the permits for licenses. But revenue can drop. So, in kama pesa mingi ilipotea, it's more than that. So they increased the rates for the levies and permits and everything. Na bado revenue, on source revenue, OSR ikateremka chini. We are seeing hapo hivyo, a lot of money is being stolen in Nakuru. Wanaiba, wanapora, ili uporaji wa hali ya juu. Issue ya tendering, the 30% for the youth. I believe I can speak for the youth. I'm a patron for various youth groups huko Mkwetu. I do a lot of youth mentoring. I come from Kivumbini ward, a crime prone area. So our youth in this area need a lot of mentoring. They need a lot of guidance. It's very easy for a youth to get lost in this environment yetu. Sasa I can speak for the youth. Issue ya tenders, we can say for sure kabisa, ejafuatwa, ile 30% ya youth hakuna, they don't get it. Ni macronis na nini wa governor napanda. We have examples. How can one company get 3-4 tenders in a particular ward? That shows you ile competitive bidding haikufanywa. Due process was never done by the procurement department. A lot of corruption is going on. Say some of the works being done, they are very shoddy. We have shared some images, some picky stalls done in some places. Unasikia the amount used in a picky stall, in a pikipiki, in a border stage. Unaangalia that amount used, unaangalia the work done, unaona hapana. Any outright robbery, like they are, wanaiba live. And when you try to raise these issues, someone has pointed it out here. If you try to raise these issues in other forums, kama WhatsApp huko, you are met with insults. You are met with ad hominems. Like, there are people who are paid. There are people who are on full-time job kutusi watu na to shut down any constructive criticism towards the county. We have these people, now they are here, we are seeing them here. We are seeing them here. Mtu kama Anthony Ngare is one of them. Issue ya war memorial. Today we have seen the High Court imetoa ruling in favor of the owners. We saw the governor going to Facebook kuongea shit. Tumeona hiyo. She's rubbishing, anasema we will go to the Court of Appeal. I can guarantee you guys, kama sio maandamano tulifanya last week for the past month, kama sio maandamano, hata hiyo nini ya High Court angepuuza. Hii maandamano ime bring about a lot of changes to our political system, to the way we are handling the way we are doing our politics. Na kumalizia tu the state of our county iko mbaya. The state of our county iko mbaya. Nimeguzia hizo vitu mbili. Nimeguzia issue ya land grabbing, nimeguzia issue ya own revenue source. Ningeongea mingi, but because of time, na maybe someone else wants to speak, we can say for a fact the state of our county, Nakuru County, iko mbaya. Me out of 10, I would give the governor a 2. Our aviator governor, siku anaitwa aviator governor. She's always on the air flying. Haonekani. Haonekani. The fish loss from the state of the county is very, very bad. Thank you.
Asante sana Kayana. It's almost 10:30. I think Zuena.
Yes, Dennis.
We have so many people who are making requests. We have over 300 members online.
Okay.
And it's getting late. I don't know what you think. What time do you end up? I wanted to give Dr. Kiondori, and then we make our closing remarks and probably just give members direction for our next space.
Okay.
What do you think?
Do we have a lady maybe that has requested, so that we have one more lady as well?
Dr. Kiondori, please pick the mic as I look for two more last speakers. Kiondori.
From our request, Dennis, do we have a Kevin?
Yes. Kevin? Let me see. I couldn't get Wakinda through. He's been making requests, but I don't know he's had an issue with the mic. I know members were trying to reach us as well. Some had issues on their side as well. We are sorry about that. This is our first space. We are learning as we do this. We don't expect perfection, but we appreciate all of you. I'm looking for Kelvin. There's no Kelvin.
Okay.
There's no Kelvin.
Do we have another lady maybe?
There's a lady, Gladys Mwangi.
Mm-hmm.
Gladys.
Okay.
We have two ladies now with mics. Any of you to pick it up?
Are they unmuted?
Millie, unmute your mic and proceed.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Mary from Gilgil. Can you hear me?
Clearly.
Okay, my name is Mary from Gilgil, Muridate Ward. My concern is about the health issues, especially for the War Memorial Hospital. I'm a nurse from that hospital, and actually what happened in War Memorial, I was there when they raided the hospital at night. And what I know about the court order, they're supposed to be, the governor is supposed to obey the court orders. But unfortunately, we have been trying to assess the hospital, but we can't. There are goons who usually come there and chase the staffs away. Apart from that, there are others, there is askaris who usually come there at the gate, in that we cannot be able even to access the hospital, despite the court order. Now, my concern is, when are we going to be jobless since January? We are jobless. You can imagine, right now I'm a qualified nurse, but my work is just to go and buy cabbages and sell them. Why should I pass all this and I went to school? I can see Rosrine is here, Madam Rosrine from the health. Why are we going through this? Kindly we want to go back to the hospital. please obey the court orders. Despite everything, please remember we are parents. We are paying school fees. We are paying rent. Why should we go through all this? Did I have to go to the hospital just to not take care of the patient? We are there to serve God. That's one way of us to serve God. To serve God.
Hello, Millie?
Hello, can you hear me, Danny?
We are really suffering. Through depression.
Dr. Kinyanjui, just hold on.
Millie, we haven't heard you, but finish please and just repeat some things that you said. We didn't hear you correctly. We really want to capture your submission, and it's very important we hear from a medic on this.
Okay, now can you hear me very well?
Yes, we can now.
Now my bigger concern.
Maybe, I think there's a connection problem on your side, Millie. Let's hear it from Dr. Kinyanjui as we try to fix your mic. Dr. Kinyanjui, proceed.
Okay. So Millie, as you rectify your internet, just a minute. I just take 30 seconds. So first of all, I want to thank the forum, the state of the affairs of Nakuru County, because what you're discussing is very, very pertinent. And just to add on what everybody has said is one thing. When it comes to even Governor Susan Kihika, Governor Kinuthia Mbogwa, Governor Lee Kinyanjui, everybody, all of them, they have one thing in common. That is, they have the interest of Nakuru at heart. That's what I can say. Because I won't try to make it personal and say that Governor Susan Kihika, Governor Lee, or Governor Kinuthia Mbogwa was doing something bad. But what I can say is, at the moment, it is about the future of us, the Gen Zs or the millennials. Moving forward, what I can say is this. When you look at the appointments that you are seeing at the county government of Nakuru, we want to see the face of the millennials and the Gen Zs. Because when you offer a job opportunity to either a Gen Z or a millennial, you're giving that person a future of hope. Like for myself, I did not marry until the time I had a job. So when you give a Gen Z or a millennial a job, that person is equipped with the power to get married and even secure his future and that of his family. So we don't have any problem with any governor. The issue is, why do you need to secure any job with somebody who is over 50 years? Even the president, why do you need to give a job to somebody who is over 50 years, somebody who has a family? Why can't you give that job to somebody who does not have a family? And with that job, even if it is worth 30,000 or 50,000 a month, that person is able to secure the future of his family, secure the future of his father, the mother, and even the extended family. But at the moment, what you are seeing in Nakuru County, I'm sorry to say this, every governor, even as opposed to Susan Kihika, every governor in Kenya, they're returning the money. The amount of money they used in campaign, let me tell you, is so much. So how do you think they will recover that money? They need to recover it through process of corruption. So it is, in fact, I want to even blame the governors. I want to blame us as the voters. When the governors come in and the campaign team come in and give us like 300, and we say 300 is not enough, give us 1,000. They give us 1,000 shillings. Where do you think these 1,000 shillings they will recover it from? Everything is an investment in life. Even this campaign, they're investing in this campaign. So when you're demanding for them to give you 1,000 shillings, you should ask yourself, how will they recover this 1,000 shillings? The salary of a governor is 1 million shillings. In 1 year is 12 million shillings. In 5 years, it's 60 million shillings. If a governor is campaigning, the minimal amount the governor needs to campaign is around 300 or 250 million Kenya shillings. Where do you want them to recover this money from? So even us as the youths, the Gen Zs and millennials, we need to change our mindsets. Let's stop asking for money. And I'm happy what is happening in Kenya. Because at the moment, the Gen Zs who are actually amounted to 9 million youths who did not vote, who absconded from voting last time, they have decided they will take the votes. They have not realized the power of voting. And now they will vote in leaders, knowing that these are the people who are actually mandated with controlling their revenues. So when we were campaigning and telling the youths, please take your votes and vote, they were saying no. Even if we vote, the same leaders will come in, they're corrupt. But what I'm suggesting for everybody here, in this forum, let's not make it personal. I'm not campaigning for Lee, I'm not campaigning for Susan, for Kinude Bogwa or anybody else. It is about our future. We end up fighting and not forgetting that we are the ones who are actually at the bottom hole. These guys are earning. The net worth of Susan Keheka is over $1 billion. The net worth of Kinude Bogwa is over $1 million. The net worth of Lee Kinyanjui is over $1 billion. We are no longer fighting for these people. Let's fight for ourselves. This future is ours. So what I'm saying moving forward, let's have one voice. It's no longer about UDM, ODM, about UDA, about UPF, about any other party. If we don't come together as youths, sisi vijana, tusipokuja pamoja sisi, nakwambia hatutasaidika. For me, I have a job. I can't complain, I have a job. But I need to mind about my other friends. Mimi nimezaliwa Bondeni. People who don't know, nimezaliwa Bondeni. The same slum place as Salim Swaleh, ambaye alikuwa Citizen TV and others. What I'm saying is this: I know what it means to live without a meal in a day. Lakini sisi vijana, sisi we are our own problems. Sisi hatujui. What I'm saying is, moving forward in 2022, let's vote people with principles. About the cabinet principles ambao rais amevote right now. Mimi sitaki kutetea chama yote. But the cabinet principles ambaye amevote in right now, I would have wished wale watano ambaye ameweka walikuwa last time hangewaeka. Then it means the president is not listening. Yes, he's listening. He's listening to the people, but he's not understanding what the youths are saying. And I'm telling you, maandamano itakuwa next week ya Gen Zs, itakuwa way bigger. Susan Keheka had the highest chance ya kusafeguard the future of the women in governorship. Angecheza game yake vizuri kama governor wa huko Homa Bay, jua anaitwa nani, madam, angeweza kusecure the future of all the ladies who are vying for governorship in Nakuru. Acheze game yake mzuri, aweke vijana pale ndani, akate corruption, afanye mambo yake, apige mboka yake safi. Lakini what I'm saying is true. Sisi vijana tunatumika vibaya. Tunatumika wakati wa vita, tunatumika wakati wa campaign, lakini wakati wa kupewa kazi muhimu hatupewi. So let me stop there. Stay kuongea sana Dennis, but thank you this forum. Weka ingine second one tuweze kuongea zaidi. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry I've taken enough time, but asante sana Dennis.
Asante sana, asante sana. I will be doing the people of Nakuru a great injustice if I added anything to what you've said, Dr. Kinyanjui. Thank you very much for your remarks. Zuena, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I think we should wind up.
Yes, please.
Every good thing has an ending. I think we should wind up. I can see there are so many requests. We have around 23 requests. There's something I've also noticed. Some of our members don't know how to make their requests for an opportunity to be given the mic on space. Some of them are assuming that we will go back and approve and pick them up instead of approving their requests. Some of them think I invite people. Today I have not invited a single person on this space. I was only approving those who sent their requests. And I think moving forward, that is what we should be doing. We are going to standardize the format on how we pick speakers for the space. But so far so good. I'm happy with what we've done. I have gotten a lot of feedback from members in my inbox, DMs. Equally also, we've been criticized as well. I've been called a sycophant, a lot of other names as well, which is good. But we are happy. We are happy with the direction we have taken as a county. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to each and every member who joined our Twitter space today. Nakuru County First X space to discuss the state of Nakuru County. I really appreciate your thoughtful insights and contributions as well, because you have all made this conversation incredibly meaningful. We are hoping that we will continue this way. We will keep improving and we keep getting better, because at the end of the day, and I can see and I could tell from people's emotions, the way people are expressing themselves, it is really inspiring to see such a diverse range of ideas, perspectives. But at the end of the day, everyone is doing this because they are part of Nakuru, they are residents of Nakuru County, and we are all passionate about good leadership. That is all we are looking for, that's all we're asking for. And I think it's a great opportunity for our leaders as well. I don't know whether to call them leaders or politicians. Gen Zs have made this whole thing confusing. But I think it's a great opportunity for our leaders as well to be joining us and to take and to pick up one or two things so that they can improve and be better. We are very lucky as Nakuru County to have started doing this early enough. We've only been 2 years into this regime, so the current government has enough time to make whatever corrections to improve on what they have done, whatever changes they want to do. So I believe at the end of the day, we are all doing this for the betterment of Nakuru County. So I think with those few remarks, I would like to say bye-bye and good night. Zola, please make your remarks.
Thank you, Dennis. I'll just simply echo your remarks and just appreciate everybody who took their time and their energy to join this first space that we've had today. And I also want to apologize for any gaps and challenges that we've experienced. For the speakers that have not had a chance to speak, please note that I have taken a photo of all of you, and in our next space we'll ensure that you are amongst the first speakers to give your submissions. Thank you so much for giving us a chance to have this conversation, for being tolerant to each other's comments and submissions, for allowing us to engage respectfully. We have received a lot of your feedback. Kayana, I do agree with you. The X spaces have allowed people to really communicate in their own language, and I think we're going to have an improvement of the same next week. I want to just in a short brief, just summarize what we have engaged in and what we have conversed, and some of the remarks that we've picked from you. And we could also, after this, I'm going to talk to Mr. Dennis. We do a small document on the same, based on the remarks that we have received from the from everyone that has had a chance to talk. And clearly, in the message is home that there's a clear problem in our county, that it is within our right to exercise our constitutionally given right to hold the government accountable, that it is important we are tolerant towards each other, and we should not label people because they are speaking their truth or they are raising issues of concerns. It is our right to do so. We will keep having these conversations so that we have accountable processes of our funds, of procurement processes, of decisions affecting our lives as residents of Nakuru County. We will be reaching out to the office of the county government, and I'm happy to see some of the representatives of the same government in this space today. We'll be reaching out to you through properly written letters to invite you for the next space so that we can hold you accountable and we can have some of the answers that we have had. This forum for today was just for the people of Nakuru County to engage and interact with each other. If we do not receive an answer from you, we'll take that and we will decide the next course of action. If anything, the Gen Z have taught us that power can be taken back to the people, and the sovereignty power belongs to us. So we will give you a right of reply to come and address us and talk to us. We hope that you will bring down the tone-deaf attitude that we have seen you exercise in terms of when we try to hold you accountable. We hope that you'll take the cue from your president, because there is something the president has tried to emulate and has tried to enforce in terms of listening, even when sometimes he misses the mark, and especially because of what has happened today with the naming of his new cabinet. And we hope that you can try to understand that the time to listen to the people has come, and you cannot hide behind your big cars, you cannot hide behind your walls, and you cannot have walls between us and you. We will break down that wall, we will get the answers that we deserve, we will get the service delivery that we deserve, and we will hold you accountable, so help us God. The issue of the War Memorial Hospital has come out very strongly. There would have been, and there could have been a better way to handle this issue of the hospital without disabling operations at the hospital, without rendering people. And we have had a representative of the same hospital, and her voice was breaking, talking about how she has lost her job. And so we know and we understand that as the leadership, there could have been mechanism and platforms to engage this issue of this hospital in a better way. And I hope that has been captured very well by the people that have been listening to this space. We have heard that there is need for us to have one voice as the people of Nakuru County to continue having sober conversation and engagements, and the same will be communicated on our next X space for next week, where we will be reaching out to the county government, and we hope they can join us. And even if they won't, we will make sure that we can have a sit down with you. So we hope that anybody that has been here, that has represented the county government, will take the message home. We'll be having another space next week, and we hope that you'll be here and you'll join us so that we can have some sober conversation towards the progressiveness of our county, and failure to which it is okay. It is within your right to either accept or refuse. We will also take matters into our own hands. We are not being funded. We are rightful owners of Nakuru County. We are stakeholders of this county. We are members and voters of these counties. We are residents of these counties. It is our right to ask for accountability and to walk this journey with you. And the same has been demonstrated by the speakers of this space. So thank you so much for everyone who joined. We will compile all the remarks and suggestions and solutions that were given today. And thank you to the people that spoke a lot of power and truth into this space. Thank you for all the submissions. And please let us continue creating an awareness towards the rest of our friends and people and friends that we have, so that the next space can be bigger and larger, and so that we can continue to amplify the voice of the people of Nakuru County. Asanteni sana, God bless you, and let's keep talking and engaging. I think I'll end at that.
Thank you very much.